All right, we are back live. Well, not live, back recording.
That's my favorite thing.
Yo, every week.
Every single week.
What's good, twins? We are back, episode 32, 33?
32, yeah.
32.
Episode 32.
Magic Johnson, Blake Griffin.
Jarius Norwood, Olaway and faculty.
No, that's a crazy call, man. That's a crazy one. Yeah. Nah, you cooking with that one.
It's a Jarius Norwood episode, but definitely the Magic Johnson episode. Shout out to Magic, especially with the Lakers' success right now.
Facts.
But welcome back, twins.
Yeah.
It's been a long hiatus.
We back, baby.
Apologize again. This NBA playoff schedule plus our work schedule.
Shout out Mother's Day, too.
Shout out Mother's Day. It's a lot going on, so we getting it in where we can. But y'all know what time it is. And it's a sad day. It's been a sad few days. I've gotten over it, but now I have to act sad because I'm on air. So,
Boy, it was a tough weekend.
it was a tough week. So it was a tough weekend for me. And
Is it on?
all Warriors. Yeah. It was a tough weekend for me and all yeah, there it is. It was a tough weekend for me and all Warriors fans. Sorry, I know we got to get the mics right. But tough weekend for me and all Warriors fans. Game 6 came and it went.
Game 6
not go how I wanted it to go.
Game 6 was bad. Game 6 was bad. Yeah.
So we're not going to sit on this too much longer, break down the game that happened a week ago. Y'all know what happened. But I do want to ask Ish a quick question.
Right.
We will talk about the Warriors' future, but just the series-wise, we don't have to stay too much on that. But the Warriors in that game, I have a question. What was it that... What do you think it was for Steve Kerr to watch Steph Curry dominate in pick and roll every time he went to pick and roll? And also at the same time, you watch LA run the same 3 or 4 sets the entire series because that's what worked. What do you think went through their mind to be like, Clay's been off of his old series, Jordan's been off of his old series, but we're going to keep trying to force feed them the ball instead of just letting Steph do what he does.
Right, let's get Jordan Poole off the bench instead of GP2, shit like that. Yes. Right, so episode 32, this episode is going to be called It Be Your Own Niggas. And that'll be the theme throughout a lot of these topics we touch. It's going to be a good episode. We got Snowfall. We might hit John Morant. We got the Warriors. Yeah, listen, it be your own niggas, bro. And in this situation, Steph, bro, it was your own niggas for real, bro. Because it's so frustrating because the Steph pick and roll takes away so many things. Like you get way less dumb Clay shots because he has the ball less. There's so many things you can change, but I really think that too much of anything will kill you. And the Warriors, for good or bad, have had this hubris about themselves for a very long time, and it's finally come. Chickens coming home to roost for real.
Yes, I think for the first time, literally the first time in a playoff series, Steve Kerr outsmarted himself.
Yep.
I think he was so nervous about the adjustment to the pick and roll that he didn't stick with the pick and roll and then adjust to the adjustment.
Exactly.
He took the ball out of Steph's hands from possession 1, and I knew what time it was. Again, this series wasn't like the Kings series. I was real stressed out during the Kings series because I was like, bro, we can go home first round to the Kings. Losing to LeBron, it's LeBron.
Terrence and Barnes can't let it happen.
Exactly. Losing LeBron to LeBron. I'm really was cool. Like, I wasn't surprised they were losing this series. The Warriors have been the Warriors all season. We know what happened at the beginning of the year with Jordan Poole. So it wasn't that shocking, but it was very frustrating because it felt like they didn't leave it all out on the floor. For example, in Game 7, watching Steph shoot the ball 38 times, if something happens and they lose that game, you can live with that.
Exactly.
Steph shot the ball 38 times.
Yep.
Clay made the shots that mattered. He was off that whole series. He's been off pretty much the whole playoff. Same for Jordan Poole. So your shooters just weren't there. Your best player scored 50 and couldn't get it done. You can live with that. Your best player running high pick and roll that has been working consistently, every single possession, I think they were getting 1.09 points per possession. They ran that. They ran the
Which is outstanding.
Which is outstanding.
Yeah.
Which is outstanding. And you just get away from that the entire game. And then the funny thing was when they went to it in that game, it worked.
It still worked,
They just
right.
wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
They wouldn't stop trying to get the ball in Klay's hands. They wouldn't stop trying to get the ball in other people's hands other than your best player. The only people that was really had it that series, especially that game with Wiggins being out, was Steph, Draymond, and Looney.
Yep.
So just run everything you can through them. And if you go down with Steph shooting 40 shots or 37 shots, all right, you cool. But you can't go out, in my opinion, they did, so you can, but you shouldn't go out in a game 6 with your best player that just scored 50 in a must-win, shooting the ball 22 times again.
Exactly.
When your second best player shoots 3 for 18.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. That's my thing. That's my thing. And we're both Kobe guys. We go a ways back about going down shooting. Now, with that being said, there's a caveat.
Yes.
That is for the best player on the court.
Yes.
You didn't see Lamar Odom going 3 for 18. Or, Bynum going 3 for 18. That is reserved for the top guy to be like, you know what, man? If nobody else got it, I got us. I'm going to try. When you're Klay and you're 2 for 12 at half, maybe, Steve, you should reel him in. It's just too much anything will kill you.
Too much anything will kill you. And we'll touch on the Lakers and their success secondly, so we'll jump into the Warriors dynasty for about 7 minutes, and then we'll move on. I'm still low. What is it?
Oh, no, it's by the second. So that's literally your breath.
That makes so much
sense.
Okay.
I saw it too, and I was like, man, it looks like nobody's talking, but it's literally every single second we don't speak.
Okay.
It's like, yeah.
But so, Warriors going for it, they have a couple things to figure out. Mm-hmm. How much money do we give Draymond? How much money do you give Klay? How much money do you give Bob Myers? And do you trade the young fellas?
Facts.
In my opinion, what they should do is pay Draymond. Tell Klay, hey, we watched you this season. You're not a max player. If we give you a max, we can't pay anybody else. And you and Draymond are not good enough anymore to be the second and best third players every single night. Can you do it some nights? 100%. But
Fair.
if you can't do it every night, you are not a max player. Give him a pay cut. Re-sign him for 3 years. Give him a pay cut. Steph is signed through 2026. 2026 will be Draymond's year 15, which is said when he said he's done. And 2026, if Steph and Draymond are done, Klay's done. So. Right. I think you would re-sign all of them through 2026 on team-friendly deals. You give Bob whatever as much as you can give him that won't hurt you financially. And Jordan Poole, you sit and have a real conversation with him and Draymond separately and together to see if this can work and if Draymond can be Draymond in this locker room. Draymond has done multiple interviews throughout this little break off-season. It's off-season.
The morning.
I'm not used to this.
Yeah, the morning for the Warriors.
During the morning period for the Warriors, he has came out multiple times. I think he said it on his podcast and he said it on Stephen A. Smith's show and pretty much said that him punching Jordan Poole at the beginning of the season affected them until about February, March, and he could not be himself, and he puts a lot of that on his self on why the road issues were what they were, because he couldn't get in people's shit like he usually could, because a lot of the young players had lost respect for him.
Yeah,
because
facts.
As naturally you would, my nigga, you a grown man punching a 22-year-old in
Facts. You ain't punching
talking shit. Like,
listen, you ain't punching Jonathan Kuminga.
Exactly. So from that, looking from that perspective, the first question everybody is going to ask, and the first question everybody asked the day after they lost was, is the dynasty over? Me personally, I don't think so.
Right.
I think as long as Steph Curry is in the NBA, no dynasty is over.
Right.
Same reason with Bron, like winning championships, we never thought that was over until the day he said he's done playing basketball, or unless we really see a sharp fall off, which we have not seen.
Facts.
So the next question is Jordan Poole and the young guys. And now I'm going to throw it to you. You saw it work one time, but if you look back on it, the 8-man rotation had one young guy in it, being Jordan Poole. This year, the rotation had three young guys in it, Poole, Kuminga, and Anthony Lamb, and then in the playoffs, Moody. Then you got Gary Payton Jr. back, and you removed him from the rotation. You removed Kuminga from the rotation during the playoffs.
Right.
So now you're looking at how are you building your teams to where the young players benefit you. And in Steve's last final press conference, he said Jordan Poole is a part of this. He is a part of their core six, the main starting five, of course, being the four, and then him being the sixth guy. He said he still believes they need him to win, which I think is just something you say about a player that had a struggling series. If there's one thing that Steve always does is backs his players. No matter as crazy as Draymond has been, he has never, ever disrespected him in the press, other than when he punched Jordan Poole. He was visibly angry about that. Everything else...
As a victim of a punch himself.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else has been in defense of his players. So I expected him to say that. But looking from the outside looking in, where do you think the Warriors should go from here?
So roster construction top to bottom for the Warriors this year was kind of like a weird jigsaw puzzle, trying to put pieces together on an already unorthodox team. Mm-hmm. So at one point you had 5 or 6 guards in the rotation: Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, Dante DiVincenzo, GP2, and what was the white guy name? Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome, yes. So you're very small heavy, which kind of plays to how you want to play movement, motion based. But we talked about this a couple of months ago about how the league is different. Mm-hmm. NBA teams don't just carry that 11th guy out of Europe, 7 feet 290 for big men that sometimes Draymond gets fouls early in the game and you just need a body to throw out there. So you don't carry those type of guys. Yeah. I think next year they need to make sure that their players are less redundant, if that makes sense. Where GP2 and Dante DiVincenzo are both good two-way players. GP2 more so than DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo, God, he struggled that last series. But they kind of offer the same thing. So having them on the court sometimes doesn't increase their game as much as it could if you were to replace them with somebody else. Jordan Poole, I think Jordan Poole has to stay. I think Jordan Poole is the future. No matter what's going to happen in the next weeks or what happened the last month, Jordan Poole would average 20 this year. They were the first team ever with 3 guards to average 20. Played great in the playoffs. Played great in the finals. Played all 82. He needs to continue taking these steps. And I think you hear this a lot when Jordan Poole talks. He has to get in the starting lineup. You have to figure it out, Steve. Because especially at this point where last year he was making $5 million. He signed an extension, so he's going to get this money. But next year, it's 35. And it's 35 until he negotiates a new deal. So it's time for him to take that step. And, fate rarely chooses when you're ready for you to be tested. But now he needs to be prepared to take that next step to maximize how well he can play. Because he is a player that is, I've always joked, he's 1,000% vibes, 1,000% rhythm. And playing him in so many different ways hurt his rhythm. And one thing I saw, I kind of chuckled to myself because I really, we cover the Warriors a lot. Yeah. I hadn't heard this. Facts. Literally. But nobody missed Otto Porter more than Jordan Poole. Having someone 100%. On the bench with you, veteran guy who's going to box out, who's going to play defense, still can shoot the 3. But when Jordan Poole comes on the court and he's the only sub, and you're already adding to a defense with Steph, who's a little smaller, Clay, who's a little slower, it does hurt you having all 3 of them there. So hopefully next year, I expect him to try to get a power forward, get a small forward, so a bigger body. I pray to God Anthony Lamb's not on the roster. Everyone is going to get their fair share of blame, but I got to sit this one at Steve Kerr's door. Even if Jonathan Kuminga was pouting, let's say last month of the year, or even early in the playoffs, it is coaching malpractice to play Anthony Lamb that many games in the regular season while you're developing players. Because if and what the problem was, we didn't know, damn, does Steve Kerr think he good? Is this something we're going to see in the playoffs? Is Anthony Lamb minutes going to come on my TV in a series? We were all worried about that. But, of course, somehow it got worse. Where it's oh, no, he's not going to play him. And it's oh, so you just played him 25 minutes a night with better players who need opportunities sitting there watching. So when you needed them, because listen, shout out to Moses Moody, first of all the young players, stayed ready, got right off the bench, started hooping like nothing happened. On the other side, if I'm Jonathan Kuminga, I'm like, damn, fuck this nigga, bro. Anthony Lamb did nothing the whole year positive in any way. Took all those minutes, and at the end of the year, you really have nothing to show for it. So there's noise about people wanting Kuminga. I love Kuminga in Golden State. Everything that he brings something, like I just talked about how redundant the roster is. There's not another player on that team that has the skill set that he does. And you saw it a lot, especially in the early Lakers series. I was getting laughed at in the group chat. I was like, man, I need these Kuminga minutes. And JaMychal Green, the first game he started, he was hitting the threes. Didn't hit another one the whole series. But everybody was laughing like, JaMychal Green playing great. The difference is the way the Lakers were playing the Warriors, especially if you're not going to have Steph on the ball, you have to have a big or a wing that can finish at the rim exceptionally outside of Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins can't be the only athleticism on the court when teams are giving you a runway, and that's the reason teams don't give other teams runways. You rarely see people get out the way of NBA superstars that can jump and attack the rim because they'll put you on a poster. But with the Warriors, they play it like a really old YMCA team that's been together for a while. Real below the rim, good back picks, movement, all that stuff. But next year, I really hope to see a concerted effort by Steve to pull back on trying to make Klay carry the load that he did before, especially with how good he was in the regular season. Yeah. Peaked in the regular season. You got over the is he washed stuff. Yes. Cool. Now you can come back. You don't have to be the second option anytime Steph sits down. You have to go back to the strength in numbers philosophy that got you here. And that includes giving these young players a lot more minutes. Because you're sitting Steph anyway. You're sitting these people anyway. You need to make sure these minutes when they sit down are going to the right people. And that was probably the biggest thing I took away from this year was, and that's why I mentioned the Hubris earlier. You got to stop wasting time, Steve. We got to stop wasting time. Like, I don't know. I think it was the year they missed a play-in where he said, I'm not chasing wins. You got to get back to that. And I know you've done nothing but win. But you've played with Michael Jordan, Tim Duncan, and Steph Curry. It's really hard. I'm sure it feels a lot easier than it is. Like these other teams that didn't do that, like it's really hard. So they need to get used to chasing wins because they're not a healthy team. They're not a young team. They're not getting younger. So they need to rack up as many wins early, get as many people involved as they can because this won't work relying on, like you said, Klay and Dre to be 2 and 3 on a championship team every single night. It's just, it's unfair to them.
To be honest, yes.
Yeah.
So I will give my all-season wishes for them.
Okay.
And it's not much, but
Brooke Lopez, my bad.
So first, I will start with what you said about Jordan Poole needing to start. I agree with you, but I don't think it's realistic.
Right.
I wish he could, but I think what Steve needs to do is, even when Steph gets hurt, somebody else needs to start, and Jordan Poole needs to come off the bench for 82 games next year.
Oh, he needs to lock in on it. Okay.
Lineup. Don't ever put him in the starting lineup unless it is absolutely necessary. Right. Even when Steph is out, Klay is out, Andrew Wiggins is out, he's not the first person you're putting in the starting lineup. He is option 3 or 4. That way, he is used to coming off the bench. And I mean, even if you're going to sub him in at 9 minutes, he's going to spend 3 minutes on the bench, be in 9 minutes for the rest of the quarter. Do that so he gets used to getting up off the bench. We talked about all throughout the playoffs how many times his role change, and that is you're saying he's playing on vibes. That's the perfect way to describe why he was messed up.
Yeah, exactly.
His rhythm was messed up.
Exactly.
So his rhythm was messed up. Then he started shooting bad, and then you start rushing, and then you watching everybody else shooting bad, and then every shot you take, you shooting bad, and you got to make this shot, or y'all gonna lose the game. So everything is just stress.
And Klay 2 for 12, and I'm getting yanked out the game.
So,
exactly. Like you said, everybody else shooting like shit. Why are you yelling at me?
Exactly.
It makes 1,000,000% like that video of him walking to the bench and he like smacked Draymond hand. Like we all playing like shit. Nigga, don't grab me. Like talk to us.
Exactly. So that's number one. Figure out a role for Jordan Poole and make him stay in that role. He's 22, 23 years old. He's young. He is the future of that franchise. Let him be that. Number two, Klay Thompson. I've already said my piece about Klay. is just reiterate he cannot be a number 2 every night, but he is a CJ McCollum type player now. He can be your number 2 some nights, but if he is your number 2 and he's supposed to be your number 2 every night, you're not a championship team.
Facts.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
So then we look at the bench because your starting lineup was the best starting lineup in the playoffs,
best 5.
the best starting lineup in the regular season. Andrew Wiggins,
Crazy.
Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Looney will work as a starting 5. That starting 5 will be able to win basketball games next year. But your bench. All right, so we're going to say you keep Jordan Poole because you paid him all that money. You want him to be the future. You want another point guard.
Yep.
Jordan Poole is your 6th man. 7, 8, and 9. Nope. Gary Payton Jr. is under contract for 2 years with Golden State now.
Right.
They took the contract, so he is your 7th man. You know he is a part of the rotation.
Facts.
8, 9, and 10 need to be figured out. That 7-man rotation is a 98% championship team.
Facts.
You need 2 perfect bench players to come and plug and play. I mean 3. You might have 2 in Moses and Kuminga.
Right.
Moses looks ready. Moses hit every big shot. He was not afraid.
I think he was
50,
50, 40, 90 this playoffs.
He played his ass off. He played hard every loose
Got
ball,
a flagrant, too.
Got flagrant. Like, he played hard. And that's exactly what you need coming off the bench. You need somebody that can spot up, really shoot, and I think they're going to keep him. I don't think they would trade him unless he is a package, a part of to get somebody crazy.
Right.
Kuminga, figure out what you want to do with him. If you have to get rid of that contract to get a solid 4 and 5 to come off the bench, then you do that. But if not, I think you get Draymond with Kuminga in the offseason, or with your interior coach, or with Kevon Looney, and teach him how to rebound. Steve said one of the big reasons he did not play in the playoffs was due to his lack of rebound.
Yeah, low motor.
So if you teach him how to rebound, because rebounding is a skill, is an art to be a high efficiency rebound. Like, some rebounds are going to fall to you, but to be a high efficiency rebound night in and night out, especially during the playoffs, that is a skill that can be taught. But it is also part of his effort. So his effort does have to increase, but he also needs to be taught the skill of how to rebound, because he's probably been the tallest person and the most athletic person on the court his whole life.
Exactly.
So rebounds have just come to him. So he hasn't really been taught that skill. Lastly, my wish list. At the top of the list is Brook Lopez. I don't think it's going to happen, but my God. If it did,
he'll be a Spur.
They would be a lock.
Yeah,
they would be a lock to
he'll
come out
he'll be a Spur.
Yo, maybe. He really might be. I don't think he's going back to Milwaukee. I think the next coach that comes to Milwaukee is going to say, Giannis, you playing a 5. We're going to spread this out. We'll get into that in the offseason. So Brook Lopez is number 1. Number 2 is I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have a number 2.
Oh, I can throw one at you.
What?
Alex Caruso.
Alex Caruso would be a great number 2. No, because of GP2. That's the only reason. I thought of that because you texted me that the other day, and I was like, Alex Caruso would be so perfect, but they have GP2 and they love GP2. GP2 might mean a lot to that organization, so they're not gonna get him. So I'm thinking they're good on guards. I'm thinking they're looking for a big. Another one I would look in getting, and I don't know if you can get him because he just got traded, but old boy that used to be on the Spurs, Patel. I think his last name.
Pirtle.
Pirtle.
Jakob Pirtle, yeah.
Jakob Pirtle. He would be a great pick.
Oh, yeah.
But Brook Lopez, a real 7-foot big, like you said. Now, that's why Brook Lopez isn't that big of a deal if we miss him, because you just really need a big that can play 25 minutes.
Facts.
25 good minutes that you can get out of a backup center is all you need. And there's one coming out of Duke. I don't think you take a chance on a rookie. I don't care that he's 7'1". He's a rookie. He hasn't played NBA basketball. You are in the final stretches, last 3 years of Steph's prime, last 2 years of Steph's prime. You need to make every effort you can to make this a championship roster, and no real championship team has had a rookie a part of their real rotation in a very long time.
Facts.
So I don't see it being realistic that a rookie center is going to come in and give you valuable minutes in the playoffs. So I say either package that pick and trade it with Kuminga and get a big, or sign a big in free agency. And if they do that, they'll be right back in contention next year. They're not far off. Yeah. They are just missing a little bit, and they need to be in a position. Another reason Jordan Poole is going to be so important next year is because Steve's been playing with Steve's been playing with Steph minutes now. Steph 36 next year.
Yeah, he's going to start.
Steph is going to be playing 32 to 36 minutes a game.
Yeah.
Like, the important games, he'll play 36 minutes. Most nights, it'll be 32 to 35.
Right.
So, and same with Klay, same with Draymond. They're not going to be playing more than 35 minutes a lot. So, that, to me, is the blueprint of what they should do in the offseason. And they do that even without Bob. I understand. Change sometimes is necessary. I think Bob has been an integral part of this organization. But getting rid of Bob wouldn't be the worst idea. But for those of you that read the Sham report that has come out, and it's not true, they have already offered Bob a contract, a ginormous contract.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere.
He is deciding if he wants to sign it. And last night, when the report came out, all the Warriors staff was together at dinner.
Yeah.
So Shams is a clutch agent. If you notice, all of the clutch people really have an issue with the Warriors. Mm-hmm. Surprise, surprise.
Shout out Shams, by the way. He's a coworker of mine.
Yes, he is. He is. So, not too much on Shams. But yeah, that is it. Do you have anything else to add?
So just to your accuracy, Jonathan Kuminga, exit interview. One of his last questions, what are you working on this offseason? First thing he said was rebounding. And that is a part of his game that has to improve. Mm-hmm. Not because it's not like a guy who needs to work on his jumper. Mm-hmm. Not because you need to add this to his game. It's because you should be an elite rebounder. Yeah. You have the physical tools to be the best rebounder on every court that you step on. Yeah. And he has to bring that to his game. Because if he can, he will be able to change so much life for the Warriors. And hopefully that's what Draymond is able to explain to him, where Draymond buttered his bread for years, not being the best athlete or the best, he one of the best passers in the league, but not the best passer, by literally just grabbing the rebound and going. And Kuminga, with his athletic ability, even if you grab the rebound, turn, and give it to a guard, now you're in the fast break with space to move. And all those free shots that they're demanding you get because they're not going to run plays for you, you can manufacture them kind of on your own that way. So that has to be the biggest takeaway for him this year, for sure.
The last thing I'll say before we move on is something we always say about young teams is I think they break up a lot of teams up too early. Mm-hmm. I think this core 8 of the 6 I just named, plus Moody and Kuminga, need to stay together. This will be year 3 of all 8 of those players being together. Right. The chemistry will be better. I think the vibes, if knowing that the energy of the locker room was messed up for 6 months of the season changes a lot, bro. Like, you coming into work and feeling weird.
Hating it, not really vibing with the people you work with. Jordan Poole, we said this last time we was on, all things considered, hell of a season.
Exactly.
Hell of a season, all things considered.
The locker room quiet when it's usually talking, the jokes that's hitting, not usually hitting.
Bruh.
We dancing after practice, not nobody staying after practice talking.
Post-game interviews, nobody talking but the nigga interviewing.
It's a lot of stuff going on that was like, okay, the vibes was off, and we was being fans and trying to act like we was just assuming like they ain't lost the Western Conference playoff series. Everything they got over everything else. They can get over this.
At least
what I was assuming. So,
at least they ain't lose less than 6.
Come on now, still 6 or 7 only losses, but so yeah. So
somebody was like, Steve Kerr's only lost to LeBron. It's like, held on to another one.
So yeah. Lastly, I would just say I don't think you need to trade the pieces. I see a lot of people calling them young people. I think those young people, Jason Tatum, they damn near vets now. Jordan Poole a vet now.
Bro.
Jordan Poole has played prime experienced basketball. He damn near a vet now.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jordan Poole's played real minutes, hit real shots, like against good teams, bro.
So like, I don't think you break this up. I just think you go after a big to really help you on the boards, so you're not asking 36-year-old, 35-year-old Draymond to be a center.
Okay, and this will say, I would say this is a realistic, another realistic wish list for the Warriors. I want to personally welcome Monty Williams, Coach Bud, Nick Nurse to the sidelines in Golden State. Your tech suit is in your office. Enjoy your time here. I'm excited for the intellectual capital.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome.
Well, they'll never get Mike Brown back, damn it. But listen, somebody got to replace him.
So, jumping to the team that beat the Warriors, the Lakers.
Yep.
Man, they look good.
Yeah, they look good.
And I said it. I said in February. I actually said when they.
We were the first. Listen. We were one of the first groups to show us like, oh, the Lakers are pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers made a run.
For some reason, I mean, I'm not going to say for some reason. I understand why. If you take my Twitter seriously, which you should not, forewarning.
Yeah.
But if you take my Twitter serious, you may think I'm a LeBron hater. I am not. I love LeBron, one of my favorite players.
Slightly
I'm
one.
actually rooting for them to win the championship this year because I want to see him complete that GOAT case. But I'm a Warriors fan first, so people just think I hate the Lakers. That's not the case.
Right.
I have said from day one, look, bro, only team that's beating the Warriors is the Lakers. Yeah. And I said when I came in here before the series started, I'm terrified. I don't know if I said it on the air, but I know I told Ish, I'm terrified. Don't want to play the Lakers. Never wanted to.
Facts.
So nothing they're doing is surprising me, bro. A lot of people don't understand how much of a problem Ron is as a free safety on defense, and the way he is getting to play free safety with the best rim protector in basketball, damn near is not fair. Like, it's damn near unfair. Plus, with the perimeter defense Jared Vanderbilt has brought, plus with the effort that Austin Reeves and Schroeder have brought. Yep. So that defense is locked in, and if you know basketball, you know defense still to this day wins championships. So nothing they're doing is surprising me. But to the series, Lakers and Nuggets series, man, the Nuggets are good. The Nuggets are good.
I love the Nuggets, bro. I love the Nuggets, bro.
So, what are you seeing? What did you see in Game 1, and what do you expect to see? So, tonight is Thursday. They're about to play, so we'll the game will be over by the time y'all watch it. So, we'll break it down quickly so we don't.
We're not too much on this one, but. First, of course, everybody's talking about it except Malika Andrews. No, wait, what was that? Was it Malika? No. Lisa Salters, she didn't see the game. But Jokic had this is how I love basketball. The best 3 quarters in NBA history. Like, we had to put a title on it, but God damn, they might have been right. I ain't gonna lie. Through 3 quarters, if you had never watched Jokic play before, and someone was trying to tell you how good he is, that was the perfect game to watch. Because for 3 quarters, with Anthony Davis probably having his best playoff game since the bubble, and LeBron breaking out of his slump, almost had 30, he was head and shoulders the best player on the court, and it wasn't even close. Up to the point where Anthony Davis, who's had the best defensive run in the playoffs we've seen in a very long time, they took him off him. They said, let's change this up, because he was giving out free work to anybody. And however you wanted it, he was giving it to you. Transition dunks, he had one for you. Post playmaking, Embiid crying about a double, Jokic spun away from the rim, opposite hand, spin back to the lane to the cutter, throwing passes that it's audacious. People like, it's Magic Johnson. Like, no, it's arrogant. That is an arrogant pass to make versus the best defense in the league. He was far and above the best player. Masterclass does not cover it enough. And it really showed you why the Nuggets are here, first of all. And 2, this is not 2020 Jokic. And I have been telling people that because before the game, I was talking to my boy. He said, yeah, AD a Jokic stopper, so we got to see how the series is going to do. Yeah, he was a Jokic stopper 2 years ago. I don't know if y'all have looked at Jokic and Embiid. I don't know if people have looked at Jokic and AD lately. The one who in a better shape, not the one you think. Because them first 5-6 minutes, I know they were a mile high, but AD was looking slow. AD was looking tired. And asking him to run with Jokic the whole game, because Jokic is slow-footed for sure. High jumper, not close. But one thing he is in amazing shape. Because he has to be, because the entire game rolls around him. So you saw for 5, 6, 7 minutes, Jokic really never stopped. Rebound, push it. Offensive rebound, push it. Defensive, all that. Play the whole game. So you really got to see the whole package. And the biggest part was, for the people who have not watched Denver this year, last year when they played against the Warriors, it's 2 niggas still like getting major minutes from them games. And it's Jokic and I think Aaron Gordon maybe. Because I think, Jamal Murray was out. This is a completely different team. And this is a team that's built how you would want to build a team against Jokic, with Jokic. You got shooters everywhere. MPJ, Jamal Murray, KCP. But you also got defensive guys like KCP, like Bruce Brown, who are championship level perimeter defenders. KCP has shown that. Hit a bunch of big shots. KCP playing amazing basketball. But at the same time, you saw why the Lakers can win the championship. Because the Lakers, through 3 quarters, they were like, let's see if AD can just do it. Which is a great game plan from Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham gets a lot of flack. I'm gonna give him credit here. First three quarters, like, man, let's just try it. Nobody else got AD. We got AD. Let's try it. To Jokic credit, he was hitting some nut shots. I mean, the step back into the third was crazy. But it was like, all right, we can't do it. So in case of emergency, break glass. Let's go to something no one else has again. And let's put AD. Let's say, you know what? No, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of what Belichick does in football. It's like, you know what?
Put your best corner on
the somebody trash. It's like, you know what? No matter who we put on Jokic, he gonna fry them anyway. No matter who's on Jamar Chase, he probably gonna cook him no matter what. So why don't we just double him anyway? No matter what, let's just put some scrub on him and double him, and then that way he won't beat us. And that's literally what you saw. I think the Nuggets will adjust in a bunch of different ways. Probably put Aaron Gordon in a bunch of dribble handoffs, spot ups, all that stuff. But for in that game, that last adjustment showed you why no lead versus the Lakers is safe, because you have to continuously score the entire game. You could score 70 and a half, 103 quarters. For 5-6 minutes, they have shown we can stop you from scoring. And with the type of shots they get on offense, it's like playing the Titans in the NFL. They are a very consistent team. The shots we're gonna take, we're not gonna get out of character. AD hit a 3. I don't think I've seen AD take 10 threes all playoffs. Hit one in the corner. Shout out to him. Banged it. But that's because they really needed it. Everything else, at the rim. Braun, wherever Jamal Murray at, wherever you at, my nigga, come set the screen. And we're going to keep doing it. And we're going to keep getting layups. And while Jokic is at the rim dealing with the double team, trying to figure this out, we're on the other end getting layups, getting back cuts, just slowly eating into that lead. So you saw a really great chess match in game 1. You saw probably one of the best performances just front court wise. Gotta feel so bad for Embiid because timing is just so bad. Like, you played your worst game of the season after winning MVP, and then Jokic and Embiid make it known you're not even a top 2 big. Yeah, like, you're not even a top. It was crazy. Embiid won MVP. He might not even be a top 3 big in the league, if you count Giannis. Like, man, that is crazy, bro. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But I think that's what you saw. Great chess match, great individual play, great team play, but no ground gained on either side except for Denver, I'll say. I do agree with Mike Malone that Darvin Ham would love to be up 1-0 instead of 0-1, but it's a race to 4, not a race to 1. I think the Lakers were kind of okay losing the way they did, knowing you only needed a split. And the Nuggets, boy, listen, thank God Braun threw up that off-balance 3. Because losing that
game would have felt like a shotgun.
Oh, yeah. Shotgun to the stomach, for sure. Done.
For me, first I want to start with the Nuggets. I will say I have been very impressed with the Nuggets. I thought the Nuggets were a regular season team until I saw them against Phoenix. Can you turn me up a little bit? I don't know what it is. Maybe we just need to listen to it. Yo. Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yo.
Maybe. Jokic. So, yo, man, I'm sorry. I'll start there. I'm sorry for thinking you was a regular season team. I'm sorry for Mike Malone. I'm sorry to everybody. Y'all boys is for real.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to cut you off. Shout out, I love Mike Malone. Old school coach. In a league of niggas who don't call timeout, Mike Malone see 5 points. He coming to the sideline. Like, the fuck is you niggas doing out here?
Bro, they was up 20. He said, y'all not going to win playing like this.
You know what's crazy? Tie game in the fourth. That nigga be knowing. That nigga was out there like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
He saw the Braun highlights.
He like, yo, that's Braun, nigga. That's Braun, dog.
I was getting nervous too. The fuck? But, so
he scared his shit over there listening to that Braun.
Scared as hell. So Jokic, you're amazing. Jokic is amazing. I think there was a recipe to stop him in 2020. As you said, there is none now. There's no recipe. You're going to have to pick your poison. I don't think putting Rui on Jokic is the answer. I think you let AD guard him one-on-one and just wear him out. I think that is your answer because he is too good of a passer to make you beat him. Make him beat you passing. There
right.
You go. And it's the same thing with Braun. Like Braun, people be like, all right, we're gonna try to stop him from scoring and just make him pass the ball. It's never gonna work because the one thing about great scorers, they're gonna score the ball. Whether it's off an offensive rebound, whether it's off a slip cut that I got open on, somehow, some way, they're going to figure out how to score the ball. Look at LeBron now. LeBron, again, I will say, is playing on 1.5 feet. And he is picking his poison. But every night you look up, he got 23, 26, 27, something like that, because he knows how to score the basketball. Same with Jokic. So I think you put AD on him and live with that. To the Nuggets shooters, you're going to have to shoot like that every night, but they are capable of doing it. That was kind of the Warriors 2015 to 2018, or 19, and 2015 to 2018, Rockets and Warriors. Both of those teams could really shoot the ball. And it would be like, they're not hitting 18 threes again in the playoff series. Yes, they are.
Facts.
This Warriors team, you saw they hit 21 threes in the first 2 games, didn't do it again, couldn't shoot for shit because they cannot shoot like they could in the previous years.
Right.
So the Nuggets are that team that can really shoot like that. So for the Lakers fans saying they're not going to shoot the ball that well, y'all shot about the same percentage in every single category. I promise you them making 4 more threes.
So what killed me about that is that I thought the Lakers role players played way better than they could sustain every night. Like, Ross Reeves not going to hit 5 threes every night. Like, things like that aren't going to happen. But Jokic provides, so to touch on your point with the Nuggets shooters shooting like that, the main difference between what the Lakers experienced last round and what the Nuggets are hitting this round is that unlike the Warriors, the Nuggets are going to force their mismatch to touch the ball to get them wide open shots. Like, the Nuggets were trafficking open jumpers. Sometimes the Warriors, they'll hit 20 of them, 7 of them, you be like, damn, ain't nothing we could do. On the other side, I think the Nuggets made like 3 contested shots. And I remember all 3 of them. Everything else, warm-up jumpers. But the biggest problem I saw was something that if you're going to put AD on Jokic, Rui, Braun, Vanderbilt,
it's got to be on their P's and Q's.
Y'all got to box out.
Okay.
Because what was happening, especially early on, which was crazy because I was putting in my parlay and and it was like Dennis Schroeder was gonna start, and I started doing the math. I was like, y'all gonna put 3 guards in there versus Jokic. I said, okay, that's not gonna make sense. And exactly what I thought was gonna happen was AD's job, he's the best defender in the league. His job is to erase threats. He's not gonna be hugged to Jokic every time a shot goes up. And every time he's not, Jokic assaults the backboard. And he's getting 2, 3, 4 shots because if AD jumps, AD kicks out, AD rotates, there's nobody in the paint but Austin Reeves, Dennis Schroeder. So Braun, Vanderbilt, Rui, y'all gotta put it on y'all where even if I'm not gonna get the board, fuck it, if I gotta foul them, the Nuggets can't rebound 40% of their misses.
Yes. That's 40% of misses. That's disgusting.
Dog, it's of their first 12 misses, I think they grabbed like 7 of them. Like, you just can't beat teams that way for real.
So, another point about the Nuggets that we're talking about their shots. I think a very important thing is, and I know you guys are fans. You're all fans of your team, so you're gonna say anything for an adjustment to make things going your way. But I think an important thing that is when you're watching a game and you're saying they're not going to hit those shots again or they won't shoot that well again, ask yourself if these are shots they're taking all year. The thing with the Nuggets was these were shots they were taking and making all year. Austin Reeves wasn't hitting 5 threes all year.
Facts.
So that is the difference, is KCP has been hitting that wing three, that contested three all season. Same with Jamal Murray, same with Michael Porter Jr. They've been hitting these shots all season, so it's not an anomaly for them to be hitting them in these series.
Right.
A second thing I want to talk with the Nuggets is their defense. That is what I was more concerned about. Good offensive teams find out how to score the ball. I know that watching all the great offenses we watch. I know a great offense is going to figure out how to score. Right. But a okay defense figuring out how to guard a good offense is really what I'm looking at.
Right.
And I think Jokic did a good job on AD in making it tough on him. I think AD has the ability to score 34, 35 a game in this series. Yeah. I truly do. But you're not worried about that. What you're worried about is how hard are those 35 points coming. And that is Jokic's job. That is whoever they bring in to guard AD. That is their job to make it hard on him. Last adjustment I would make, if they're going to do the Rui thing, have Rui guard Jokic, put Jeff Green in instead of Aaron Gordon, because Jeff Gordon is a corner marksman.
Yep.
To the Lakers. My word for the Lakers is discipline. And the reason I am going discipline in it is because it starts with LeBron. Everything LeBron has become is because of discipline. He didn't go out. He didn't go to parties. He went to work. He didn't go out. He didn't go do nothing. He went to work. Eric Spoelstra had this. Was talking about. I don't know if it was the game before last or sometime in this playoffs. He was talking about how his locker room was organized, and from day one, it's organized throughout the season. He's never late. He's always the first one in, always the last one out, always watching film. That is discipline. It takes discipline. Why do I say that with the Lakers, and why does it apply to their entire team? Because you have to be disciplined to guard the Nuggets, and you also have to be disciplined to not take bad shots. As I have watched, the Warriors and the Nuggets are very similar. It's just the two guys that lead in the helm are complete opposite positions and complete opposite sizes, but very similar offenses. And the prime of the Warriors was you cannot get lackadaisical. You have to always be on your P's and Q's. You can't lack discipline. And that is why they got off to that start, was because, bruh, it hurts to say, but the Nuggets not the Warriors. Those shots where you was halfway helping and halfway on the 3-point shot, you got to be all the way on the 3-point shot now. Discipline. What you was just talking about with Brian and Rui coming out the box and out, that's discipline. That's thought. You have to put effort and thought into that every play, because game 47, you don't got to box out.
Right.
So it's things like that that's going to help this Lakers win the series. AD and Bron are going to be AD and Bron. It is the other guys that are going to have to come along, because if we're looking at the top, Nuggets have a better team. They have a better roster. They have better role players. But you guys have LeBron and AD, and that's not what they don't have that. Facts. So you guys have to use that to your advantage and be disciplined in quarters 1 through 3, so LeBron and AD can take you home.
I'm glad you mentioned the discipline, especially when you talked about the difference between the Warriors and the Nuggets, and they're two sides of the same coin, basically. But just like anything where you're so similar to someone, the differences are so stark. Where with Jokic controlling every dribble and Michael Malone controlling every stretch, you were able to get away with a couple of those dumb shots. I didn't close out here versus the Warriors because they're on the same. They're doing the same shit, not closing out, taking dumb shots, heat checks, all that.
Oh God!
The difference with the Nuggets is y'all, like the Lakers out here. Hey, let's first quarter, it looks like, hey, let's try to get into the series. The Nuggets are locked in. None of that shit, nigga. Like the niggas, they are locked in, no bad shots, nothing, because they understand these moments, how hard, because a lot of these players are new, but a lot of them players, they all been in moments like these. They know how hard it is to get here. Bruce Brown played with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, know how hard it is to get to a conference finals because he didn't do it with them. KCP won a title with LA. He understands how hard these games are just to get in. Another problem I saw, and I wonder what you thought about this, because outside of this, I didn't really see any red flags for the Warriors. Not the Warriors, the Lakers. I saw things, I would, wonder what they'll do here. But things I feel like over the course of a series, they can overcome. I don't know who's going to guard Michael Porter Jr.
Hey, man, I'm glad you asked me that.
Because I was really looking like, man, it's not going to be Braun. First of all, Braun not chasing that nigga on the court. Braun up $1 billion. I'm not chasing that nigga. AD, he got bigger fish to fry. AD got so much on his plate. I don't want to, don't give AD. He coming off a concussion last week. Like, AD got enough on his plate, but Reeves, too short. Vanderbilt, he only played 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't have someone that's going to be able to chase him around and affect him on these shots. And that is what's worrying me, because they can generate looks almost on demand because of the size at certain positions that they have. Like, even when Jokic gets the ball on the elbow and you're defending these cutters, usually when you play in Golden State, you got perfect position, top block, hand up here, hand down here, no way to throw this pass. Well, Jokic is 7 feet. So Jokic can throw him away from you into the lane and get that layup.
Which is stupid, by the way.
Which he did to KCP. KCP hadn't even cut yet. He just threw the ball into the middle lane. He laid the ball up.
Stupid.
And that is something, like you said, discipline is going to teach you to be like, man, I just can't let this nigga cut. I have to play this differently. But the Michael Porter thing, he had a couple of them. And this wasn't per se, I don't want to say the shots like, oh, he just hit the shots. It was kind of the way he was hitting them, where it's, I'm going to get to this spot. And once I get here, whoever rises up with me, welcome. Sure. Because I'm going to keep going. I'm 6'10". I'm just not going to see you.
And on his threes, like, he jumps. He has so much elevation on his jumper. Like, I don't see you.
Right.
So the answer to your question is the person you said not going to do it, and it's Bron. Unfortunately, the answer is Bron. That's the only person that can do it, because, as you said, Jared Vanderbilt would be the other answer, but he don't play enough minutes, and he's too good of an on-ball defender to have him on somebody that's never on ball.
Facts. So
I think the way you do it is you start, because you're going to probably go tonight, I assume they'll go with D'Lo. D'Lo or Schroeder, Reeves, Bron, put Vanderbilt back in the lineup, and then go AD, of course. Mm-hmm. So I think if you go that lineup, you start either D'Lo or Reeves on him, mm-hmm. and in the second half, Bron goes on him. Because you're right, Bron's not going to chase him around all game and beat Bron. But Bron will chase him around for a half, because Bron's going to do what needs to be done for him. So I do think you see the adjustment in the second half for Bron to switch on Michael Porter Jr. But the thing is, they cut so much that they cause you to switch so much. So at the end of the day, it damn near don't matter who start on them. Exactly. It's like you said, they manipulate the offense to get the mismatch they want. Right. And with Bron, we've seen Bron does this all the time. We'll talk about that in Mon Shepard video. Oh my God! But we'll talk about
shout out to Mon Shepard, by the way.
Yes,
friend of the show.
Yeah. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to say it. Check out Tubi.
No, I don't want to laugh too hard. Hey, friend of the show, Mon Shepard.
No, we're not joking. Like, check out Tubi.
Check out my nigga movie.
Movie with Young Jock. It was filmed in this studio, and that's real shit.
Shout out Young Jock.
Shout out Young Jock, man. So on those, because what was I saying? Yeah. So it's really about who ends the possession on him, but they're manipulating the defense to not do that. And the thing is, it's so funny how similar Jokic is to Bron and Steph.
Yeah, and he's like in the middle.
Yeah, with the similarity in Bron is that I'm not going to run a pick and roll for me to get this mismatch, but I'm going to know where the mismatch is to run the pick and roll to get the shooter open I want or get the cut I want.
Right.
Like, it's a beautiful offense to watch. So yeah, I agree with you. I don't see anything from either team that is alarming. Mm-hmm. I don't see, like, last series with the Warriors, it was like, oh my God, y'all are small as fuck, and if y'all don't hit a bunch of jumpers, y'all gonna lose. And with the Suns, it was like, damn, y'all don't got no bench or really no scoring outside of KD and Book. These are pretty evenly matched teams. I think the Nuggets have a little bit better roster, but again, the Lakers have LeBron and AD. Yeah. So I do think this is a 6 or 7 game series unless a game gets stolen. Like game 1 for the Warriors got stolen last year by Brown. Right. And I think tonight is the night. If the Nuggets can win this game tonight and go up 2-0, they'll win this series in 6 games. Okay, but if they split, then I think they'll split in LA too, and they'll go 7.
So I wanted to ask you this too, because it's the elephant in the room for real, and it's really, I hate when people say it's the elephant in the room. It really don't be the elephant. This is the elephant in the room because I have not seen anybody say it. And I know we live in a world where we try to see, silver linings, glass half full. Let's not talk about it. But let's be for real. AD not gonna play like this for 7 games.
All right, bro.
It's gonna be one of these. Yo, everyone knows. No, I haven't heard anybody say it yet. AD gonna take one of these nights off.
Yeah.
And depending which night he take off,
Might be the wrong fucking night.
because Jokic, that nigga not taking no nights off. He not taking no nights off. So if AD just gave you 40 last night for real.
What happens tonight?
That's what I'm saying. Is he play good again tonight? And if he does, you don't think he do it 3 games in a row? 3 games in a row. I think that is the there's been no red flags we've seen. That's the boogeyman in the closet for the Lakers fans.
And this is the last thing, and I wrote this down because I wanted to make sure I brought this up. They play every other day, and I thought they stopped, but they did not. They got a 5-day rest. We lucky they didn't go 7 for both of them. They lucky they didn't go 7. So
Facts.
they play every other day. I think until game 5. So they play tonight, and then they play again on Saturday, and then they play again on Monday.
Damn.
We saw last series with AD, the points was fluctuating based on every other night.
Yep.
Like you just said, the beauty in it, I mean, not the beauty, but the silver lining it is the defense goes nowhere.
Right.
He has been a top-notch, elite-level defender every step of the way during this run. And also, his minutes don't decline every other night.
Right.
So he's still going to play 40 minutes, so the threat of AD is still going to be on the court. And that's what I think is important. So to answer your question, hell no, he ain't going for 40 minutes. And y'all may watch this after this game.
He might have 40 right now. Niggas is watching this shit right now. Like, this nigga got 40 and 12.
Oh, God. But in my opinion, he ain't going for 40. Could I see him going for 20 and 15? Yeah. I see him.
You know what? Let me hedge your bet, too. If he go for 40 tonight, he ain't going for it in game 3.
On God.
Yeah. Fuck you niggas.
I think that is a very good point. That is a very good point because the Lakers can't afford to lose this game tonight. They really cannot. I mean, you got LeBron, you kind of can, but like you don't want to. Like,
you definitely don't
a
want
very
to.
big hole to climb yourself out of, especially you get close into game 3. I mean, you get close into game 3 down the stretch.
Niggas start getting tight.
And you in LA.
Niggas start getting tight.
Shooting LA.
Listen. Let me ask you this. Last time you saw Malik Measy take a shot.
We called that straight up.
Bro, he got the most threes the last 2 years. Okay, all right.
Fuck.
Let's see. Let's watch. Nigga can't find his way onto the court.
God, so I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful series.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful series. We're gonna get some beautiful basketball in this series. We will pick these series later in the show, and then actually we can go ahead. We can pick them now. So game. No, not game. We're not picking game. I'm so stupid. Western Conference Finals. Lakers, Nuggets. Who do you have?
I got Nuggets in 6.
I have the Lakers in 7, but not confidently at all.
Right.
Not a confident pick.
Okay.
But I don't pick against history. Like, I didn't pick
That's
against
fair.
the Warriors because they ain't lost the Western Conference Final Series.
That's
I'm
fair.
not picking up against Braun. He 10-1 in his conference finals.
Yeah. I will say this. If these niggas played once a week, I would go Lakers in 5.
Okay.
But I seriously believe one of these games that's really gonna matter, AD's just not gonna have it.
I understand.
And it's gonna cook them, especially against an offense as efficient of the Nuggets, where they're not as streaky as the Warriors, where is the 3 faller, is it not? They are, because of Jokic, are just manufacturing layups, threes, easy shots the whole game. So I really think that'll be the turning point where AD, 40 minutes a night, I'm going to Jokic, I'm trying to do all this shit. We got Wendell Gabriel playing 2 minutes a series. I don't got no backup. AD going on the bench, there's no backup big.
He's just be like, all right.
Yeah.
Right, give me 2 minutes.
Facts.
Get right back up. So, Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Rematch from last year. A very classic matchup in this decade. Over the past, 15 years.
Low-key underrated rivalry,
yes,
bro, right now.
Celtics. Who do you have?
Don't
do it. Don't do it. Don't you fucking do it. Don't fucking do it.
I, from the beginning of the playoffs, have been rooting for the Heat to lose. Actively, so I can stop watching Gabe Vincent play basketball, Max Strus run around back screens, the ghost of Kevin Love, like what's left of him out there. But Boston's just so fucking unserious, bro. I gotta go Heat in 6. I have never seen a team with so much veteran, like playoff experience, so unserious all the time. They are so fucking I just don't get it. I don't know what goes on in Boston for
Seriously, bro. I don't.
You know what? Shout out Ime Udoka. Wherever you are right now, my nigga, whatever you're doing, you know basketball for real. Because for the life of me, I just don't get it, bro.
So I have been thinking what to say to this question since yesterday, bro. Like, I have been like, yo, I don't know who to pick after watching this game. I went into the series confident as fuck. Celtics.
Facts.
Fuck it.
Right. Even if I think the Celtics can win, I don't think they deserve for me to say it after that. Like, I don't even want to put that in the atmosphere, bro.
Bro, so I'm going to trust Jason Tatum, bro. I'm going to trust you're better than Jimmy Butler, and I'm going to trust Jaylen Brown to give me a game where he wins a game.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go Celtics in 7. Mm-hmm. But yo, the Nuggets and Lakers series is one thing because neither one of them teams, unless like a sweep or a 5-game win happens, neither team should be disappointed.
Facts.
There's no reason on earth, with all due respect to Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra, and Bam Adebayo, there's no reason on earth that Heat team should beat the Celtics.
I feel like I'm in a fever Heat dream. Like, I feel like I'm in a fever dream, bro.
Like, it's like we're watching the Heat's like fake documentary that's about to be on Hulu. Like, what the fuck
it's
is
making
this, dog?
You know what it feels like? It feels like when I read the tweet about him winning that practice with them third string niggas, and it feels like he woke up, he's like, I'll just do that shit again. I'll do it to everybody. Like, fuck it, I win the finals. Yo, like Jimmy Butler, and what's pissing me off is I just don't know what he doing to these niggas. Cause what was Tatum doing, bruh? Tatum literally caught the ball at the top, jab step, threw it right to Jimmy. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's like yo, and then the one he caught it and pump fake and traveled. I said, yo, you're in the league, my nigga. This is not pickup basketball.
Like he traveled and then tried to jump,
and it was like,
yo, the whole arena like, oh fuck. Everybody knows to travel, Jason, nigga. What are you doing?
We see you, nigga.
You 6'9", brought the ball all the way up here. Like, bro, we saw you.
So I am not picking the Heat because I just can't believe they win the series, bro. Like, I picked them I didn't pick them against the Bucks. No way they win that series. They did it. I picked them against the Knicks. Picked them against the Heat because I knew they would beat the
Knicks.
I picked them against the Knicks because I knew they would beat the Knicks. But this series, I was like, bro, there's no way they beat the Celtics. There's no way. But I saw game 1, and as we keep saying, bro, coaching really fucking matters, bro. No. And Eric Spoelstra is going to put on a masterclass however long this series goes.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
And the unfortunate part of this series is going to come down to, can the Celtics out-talent the Heat's coaching?
Which is crazy,
bro. And because of the brain lapses they go through, I don't know if they can, bro. I don't know. Bro, but I'm going to stick with them, bro. I'm going to say Celtics in 7. And I'm saying 7 because I think the Celtics will win tomorrow. And I think they'll split in Miami. And then I think the Celtics will win Game 5 and the Heat will win Game 6. And I think their talent will win them a Game 7, bro. But truly, I don't think the Heat should win 3 games against y'all. But I think they will because of the coaching and the will of Jimmy Butler, truly. And one more thing. If they get LA, the Heat win the series, and they get LA, they're not beating LA.
Nope. But
if they get the Nuggets, they can win the championship.
Yeah,
and
I need that.
If they win the championship,
I need that.
This is the greatest playoff run
I need that.
ever in history.
Yeah, Dirk scoot over. Dirk scoot over. Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, Dirk
like,
scoot
not
over.
Even question.
Yeah, this is crazy because you started as a play-in team.
You started as a play-in.
And you lost. You lost our first play-in game. But man, listen, the Celtics. I don't know what Miami's doing. I don't know what Black Magic Jimmy Butler got over the ball. It feels like a Disney Channel. It's like I'm watching a Disney Channel movie.
It's High School Musical,
where the team has to win. Like, no matter what, this team gotta win. And throughout the game, it's just shit happening.
Is this a simulation?
Bro,
we in a simulation.
It's so and it's so frustrating watching bad coaching. where I look up and Peyton Pritchard on Jimmy Butler. Like, that should never happen. I don't care what set niggas run. There should never be a possession with Peyton Pritchard in the low post on Jimmy Butler, bro.
Stand show.
Yo, we was the first niggas about, yeah, Peyton Pritchard could hoop. And I think Peyton Pritchard, it can bring a lot to a basketball team.
Yes.
Guarding Jimmy Butler in the playoffs.
It's not one of those things.
Not one of them things. But the reason I decided I couldn't pick the Celtics, midway through the fourth, Jason Tatum did some stupid shit and they called a timeout. And the camera cut to him sitting down on the bench and he just stopped there for just a moment before they cut the camera. And that nigga looked lost. He didn't know what was going on, bro. And for a player as good as Tatum, even, he is a veteran, bro. Mm-hmm. Coaching matters, bro. Mm-hmm. And he looked like he had no clue what was going on there. This is a common football phrase. We talked about football, basketball the whole show. That nigga like he was seeing ghosts, bro. He did not know what to expect on a play-by-play basis. And that's what Eric Spoelstra has been doing to these niggas since day one. Like,
you never gonna get the same look all game from Eric.
Ever.
And I think that's really gonna bother the Celtics because Joe Mazzulla's not an in-game coach yet. He doesn't have the experience or the knowledge to coach in-game.
I saw some stupid article about him watching the same movie 4 times a week. You need to cut on some film, nigga. That's what you need to cut on.
So yeah, I just don't. I think it is hard for them to execute at the end of games. And I think it is hard for them to execute at the end of games because, unfortunately, they all think they're Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown can think that, and it'd be okay.
Right.
But Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, and Al Horford can't do this. Al Horford hit a 3 in the second quarter.
It started. Yeah, do it. You gonna do it? Yeah. You do it. The timeout. Nigga, if you don't get it the fuck up.
First off, you're number 42. You don't get to do shit cool. You don't get to do nothing cool because you're number 42. Second off, you are 37 years old.
Yo, get up, yo. Oldest nigga in the gym. It's fan. You might be the oldest fan there, nigga, if you wasn't playing.
Get up, bro. It's game 1. Y'all,
this the AC, bro. This the AC, bro. Get up, bro. This the AC. Yo, get up, my nigga. Don't piss me off, bro. Get up. You know who team he wouldn't have did that on? Ime Udoka. I guarantee you he wouldn't have did that shit, nigga.
Bro, what the hell,
your stupid ass in the huddle.
All right, man.
You know what? I'm very happy to see the world giving Eric Spoelstra his power, especially since he don't have any coach of the year votes. But this is a guy who was forged in the fire, nigga. Like, Eric Spoelstra not one of these coaches who just hung around the league because niggas like him. Eric Spoelstra been through some wars. First of all, Eric Spoelstra might be the only coach to survive LeBron wanting him fired. That's a notch on his belt for real.
I think that's factual. I think he's the only one that survived it.
Only nigga to survive it. And then they went on to go to three straight finals. Then the roster implode. He the only nigga to survive LeBron leaving. He's been to more conference finals post LeBron than LeBron has. Well, I don't think that's true. No, there's no way that's true.
No, LeBron went to 4 straight finals after that. No, that's not true.
We'll say in LA.
Yes, hell yeah.
In LA.
Make it even.
Yeah, facts. I'll say this. In the Jimmy Butler era. Boom.
In the Jimmy Butler era. That's a perfect way to describe it because it don't matter. Like, the teams was ass.
Facts.
And he still had them in the playoffs every single year and competing, bro.
Jimmy Butler era post.
You've been to more conference finals than LeBron has.
Like,
Anthony Davis.
What can you ask from Eric Spoelstra? And I don't know what Pat Riley
doing. Who cares?
I don't know what Pat Riley doing up there pulling them strings, bro. But it's a lot of like weird vibes going on in that Miami team,
bro. It's the weather, bro. You get weather like that year round, your body don't act right. It has to be.
And I will say this. I don't know if I said this on the show, but niggas got to stop talking about the Garden like it's some crazy home advantage. Because niggas come in there and give y'all crazy work.
Boston Garden.
Yeah, Boston Garden. Niggas have been niggas come into Boston Garden and give you crazy work. Like Kobe, Braun, a couple times, Butler, Steph, Harden game 1. Like, niggas come there and really get off. So we need to move them down.
It's because they fans racist.
That's a fact.
When the last time you saw Luka have a I'm joking.
What's Jokic's best game in Boston?
So we gonna save the Heat and Celtics X and O's for Sunday because they play tonight. They play Saturday. Yeah, they play Saturday. So
and I don't want to talk about Jason.
I mean,
Tatum.
they play game 2 tomorrow, and then they'll play Sunday. So yeah, we'll talk about them. And I don't feel like I don't want to harp too much on it because I really don't know what to think.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown cooked my parlay. I just don't want to talk about it.
I understand. So, don't have to stay on this too much long, but for those of you that don't know, Ish is a Spurs fan.
Oh yeah, it's that time.
Obviously, in the past 6 years, there's no point in talking about being a Spurs fan, especially when you live in Atlanta. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna tell? So
I don't know another Spurs fan. I don't know a single one.
But now, for the first time since 2014. Since 2014, he has something to really, really, really celebrate. So I'm going to give him the floor. The Spurs have the number 1 pick, which means they have Victor Wembanyama. Ish, how excited have you? And the real question I actually did want to ask is, where do you go from here? How do you think you build around him?
Okay, bet. So let me take all right. So let me take y'all back to let's say draft lottery night. So I forgot. Nobody's like checking their calendar for. Listen, niggas drafted.
Roby is.
Roby there.
Shut up.
Roby was there, like in the room, like, watching.
Roby, a real scout.
But so I was like, the draft lottery tonight. Canceled my plans, put my phone on D&D, started doing the black magic. It looked like Wanda from what was the last movie where she was dream walking through universes and shit. That's what I was doing. I was doing a bunch of dark hole shit that nobody should know about, trying to get Victor. But I will say this: the NBA as a product is improving because there was nothing more tense than them drawing them first 10 picks and then cutting to commercial. Because I didn't see that shit coming. I was sitting there like, bro, y'all just gonna play these ads? Nigga, I don't know what the rest. But, and especially because we're younger fans, we haven't, like as a fan of a team, I have never had a team with, a number 1 overall pick. And not only, it's one thing to have high picks, like there was a year that Warriors had a couple of high picks.
2, and the 7-14 year.
Like this is like the Victor draft. Like niggas have been putting Victor in the NBA for 2 years now.
Yes.
I haven't yelled that loud in a minute. Because first I was hating. First I saw Detroit win top 4. I was hyped. I was happy to see Ben Wallace sad again. Shout out you. Sorry, Barry. I was happy to see that nigga fail one more time.
Yeah, bro. Kobe would have 6 if it wasn't for them. I cannot fuck with them niggas, bro. I can't. I'm sorry.
Y'all still paying for y'all sins for real.
Boy would have 6, man.
But I have been so excited ever since it. Like, the possibilities it's so perfect. Niggas like, it's rigged. I hope so. I hope it was, nigga. You damn right. Because he shouldn't go anywhere else. Like, if you had to pick a place to put Victor, realistically, if you had to pick a team for him to land with, like that's rebuilding, who else would it be?
He shouldn't go nowhere.
He should. Victor, he might be the first nigga to get a baseball deal in basketball. Day 1, I want him 15 years. Whatever he want. Because what we finna do, so right now we have Jeremy at power forward, who is somehow the perfect fit next to him as a defensive beast. Lock down, do everything. But
hey, I know y'all got to know he's a Spurs fan because nobody watching know who the fuck Jeremy is, bro. I know who you're talking about, but not one person listening to this knows who the fuck Jeremy is. No offense to Jeremy. Bro.
we got Keldon Johnson, who's on the Olympic team. But okay, in all seriousness, we got a lot of bread in this offseason.
Oh, I know that. I do. That's what I was asking.
We got a lot of bread in this offseason. But you know what?
No more. You got to give Victor 15 years.
Oh, yeah, no, 15 years, 20% ownership off top. Whatever you make, you keep. Fuck it. But I think our first goal is to trade for someone as opposed to signing them.
Agreed.
I think the free agency pool there's no guys in free agency that are changing your life. And with a talent like this coming in, I'm not looking to trade for it. Niggas like, y'all should get Dame. I don't want Dame. I had no reason to get Dame. I would either trade for that 3rd pick. Y'all niggas want to keep Dame? Give me Scoot and Victor. cool. Or, as much as I hate to see him go, salute to him, Keldon Johnson and something for a player, or really take the next, not off season to really get it done, the next season and a half really, where we're gonna have these money, they're gonna have this money, we're gonna have these picks to trade, wait for the right time and really try to hit on something, because once this nigga is good, it's really no telling. His body has to adjust to NBA basketball. He has to get used to playing 82 games. He has to get used to playing NBA defenses. It's a lot different. There's a lot he's going to have to, figure out. So the first year, cool. Whatever happens, 22 game wins, 42 game wins, whatever he is, first year, it's icing on the cake. But we need to be in a position from 2026 on to compete. Not because that's where he needs to be. Like, he may not even be ready to win championships there, but the NBA is a different sport than it used to be, where superstars are on the clock as soon as people figure out how good they really are. And Victor has even less time on that clock. I mean, Luka's been in the league, 4 years? He's made 3 first-team All-NBAs. And niggas are like, we got to get him out of Dallas. So we don't want to get into a situation where this Victor 4th, 5th year and we ain't made a finals, and we're losing Victor would be the worst possible scenario.
Worst.
Because there's no replacing that. But with that being said, international prospect, played on Tony Parker's champion, team in France. We've scouted Europe for decades. He loves the Spurs. I think it'll be a match rigged in heaven.
Rigged in heaven.
Shout out Adam Silver.
So, a match rigged in heaven. That should be the title. A match rigged in heaven. That's hard. So,
I almost cried for real though. Shout out. Man, I'm finna get emotional. Listen, y'all niggas better enjoy it now.
So, I don't have anything to say about the pick. I just wanted to talk about, is Victor the greatest basketball prospect ever?
No.
Yes and no.
Right.
He is not more hyped, more noticeable, more known than LeBron James is.
Right.
As a prospect, yes. Because if he turns out to be a 50-40-90, 7'5" shooting guard,
and lead the league in blocks.
And lead the league in blocks. AD at the rim. Yeah. James Harden on the other end. Like, he's the best player ever. Like you're gonna build a team around him to win a championship if that's his skill set, and he's gonna win 4 or 5 championships, and then he's the best player ever.
Right.
Like, he is on that type of trajectory. I saw Chris Broussard say that if his career is Anthony Davis, like, it's a failure, and he's kind of right.
Yeah, no,
like,
he's 1,000%.
That's how good he is.
And for context, Anthony Davis might have been the best college basketball player in modern history.
Yes, yes, and Anthony Davis has had a better career than 97% of all NBA players are already top 75. So it's not like we get to year 10 and he's Anthony Davis and niggas is like, you failed. Yeah. It's not going to be like that, but it will be like, the hype wasn't all the way right. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about this. I'm happy for the Spurs. I kind of agree with Ish, though, in saying that this is a perfect place for him. Not that part. What did you say? You said, where else would he go?
Where else would he go?
I kind of agree with that statement because it's like,
oh, no.
You don't want him in Charlotte.
Fam, that nigga, listen, I can guarantee you a couple things. That nigga wasn't going to Charlotte. I can put my bottom dollar on that. You think the NBA letting that nigga go to Charlotte?
Charlotte, bro.
Did you see the list of times the players Charlotte has gotten second in? Victor,
yes,
Shaq. It's been
Dwight too.
Dwight, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's not happening, Charlotte. I'll tell you that much right now.
No, see, I was like, Charlotte don't make no sense. Yeah. Detroit made a little sense because Detroit a real basketball city, right. But they already got their young pieces. You don't want to take away from them. So it's trying to make sense. And then Portland, who the fuck knows?
Thank God Portland ain't fucking.
And then
win.
that's really it. Like, those were the main teams you was really worried about getting top 5 picks. So the Spurs
and God hates Houston, so they weren't even there.
Yeah. God, it's so much sin in that city.
God hates Houston. The way Jalen Green played basketball this year wasn't a chance in hell they was getting that first pick.
So yeah, I'm super happy for the Spurs. But no, I don't think he's the greatest prospect ever. I just think he has the potential to be the best prospect ever,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So,
I definitely agree with you. Ceiling wise, he might have the highest ceiling we've ever seen coming into this league. And early in the year, I was one of those people like, man, I don't know how his body will hold up. That would be probably one of his only concerns is how his body is going to hold up. But he does, we talk about this all the time. He is not coming from, oh yeah, I live in California. I was on six AAU teams.
Yeah.
We played 24/7. I was playing 8 games a week. No, he's coming from professional basketball in another European league with professional trainers, professional workout routines, and he is already used to taking care of his body in a different way, as opposed to having to learn to take care of your body.
That's very important. And the last thing I will say is, one thing I did get brought to my attention was that he shot 46% last year against players. He at 7'5", that's pitiful. Not pitiful. I'm being dramatic. That's not good. You wouldn't at 7'5", you shouldn't be shooting 46%. He does take a few jumpers, but that is more. It says more about his jumper than it does about anything else. So I am very interested to see how he deals with the physicality of this league because. Like LeBron, I don't know if you guys were old enough to remember this, but people was in the league like, man, LeBron ain't coming in here to do none of that. Like,
it was a nigga on his team. It was
Darius Mouse.
He
was like, he ain't gonna come here. We in the professionals, and it was people all throughout the league saying that. And he came in day one and
was the best player.
Been the top 10 player ever since.
Been the best player on every team he's ever played on.
Literally. So
except the Olympics, my fault.
Except the Olympics. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
So yeah, that would be the one thing I look for is. Every night, it's going to be somebody that's like, nah, he ain't doing it tonight. I ain't finna be the one. So I'm interested to see how he deals with the physicality and the mentality of real American basketball players. No offense, but I know the guys and friends just not what these niggas are here. So that's my only concern.
And just to wrap up your last point of if nigga's mad that we think LeBron, like he's a better prospect than LeBron, it's that if Wembanyama plays as good as he can be, he will be the best player on offense and defense in the league until he retires.
That's a perfect way to put it.
That's
the perfect way to put it. Bro.
Even prime Braun, we've seen him, maybe the greatest player ever. There was never 5 or 6 years where you were like, oh yeah, this is the best offensive and defensive player on every court. Yeah. At 7'5", he has the ability to do that, and not only at 7'5", he gets to be coached by one of the greatest defensive mind for big men ever, and get tutored by Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
Cheating.
Cheating. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. You want to do Embiid's meltdown today or Sunday?
Let's do it now.
All right, guys. So you heard me. You know what's next. So Embiid and James Harden. James Harden, you do this. Not even talking about you. I know you're in Houston right now. You don't give a fuck. So we ain't
going crazy.
I ain't even focus on you. You won 2 games. You did what you were supposed to do.
Facts.
Like you expect your big man to give you 30-something, 40.
I was telling niggas, bro, Harden won 2 more games than he's supposed to. Come on, he's not the MVP of this team.
Come on, man. I ain't tripping. But Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah.
Joel Embiid. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Let me pull up Joel Embiid's stats real quick. Because
I'll tell you, he made 1 shot in the second half. I know that one off hip.
All right, I wish I didn't know that. I knew that too, but I wish I didn't. 38 minutes. Yep. Game 7, by the way. Right. Game 7.
Winner, stay home.
38 minutes.
Yep.
15 points, 5 of 18 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3, 8 rebounds at 7-2, 1 assist, 0 steals, 2 blocks. Awful. Terrible, disgusting, pitiful, all of the adjectives. But what I am disappointed in most is that you seemed okay with it. That is what bothers me the most. It's not that you played bad, because I mentioned it last year. I mentioned it last week. Every superstar ever has had the moment where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you just stink it up. You just stink it.
Yeah. Everyone, but none of them seem okay with it after. Bron told y'all y'all was broke and didn't talk to nobody for 2 weeks. Steph was sad and was in church every week for the rest of the summer. Like Kobe was in tears at the podium after. He was in tears on a bench after that Boston shit. That wasn't even his fault. Though his fault was a 3-1 comeback against Phoenix, where he just didn't shoot the ball for the last game 7.
Yeah.
So all of them have the moments, but none of them seemed okay with it. And that is what bothered me from this performance was on the court, it looked like you gave up. It looked like after, because it was a 5-point game going into the halftime. Yeah. And it looked like they went on that first run and you said, there's no way we can win this fucking game.
Yo, somebody said, I don't know what Doc said at halftime. That must have been the worst fucking speech.
Halftime speech ever.
He went in there. He probably went in there. They're better, y'all. They're the better team tonight. Y'all don't see it?
Yeah, that is what bothered me from the performance. 15 points on 5 of 18 shooting is awful. Why did you only take 18 shots? Number one, game 7 on the way home. How do you only take 18 shots as the best player? What are you doing? I don't care about double teams. Shoot over the double teams. You're 7-2. 8 rebounds at 7-2. Right. The main dominant big man, 38 minutes. You grab 8 rebounds. That is pitiful, awful, terrible. There is a lack of effort. There is a lack of will. There is a lack of want to. And there is a lack of discipline in you. And if you want to be the best player in the world like you be calling yourself, you got to change all of that. You got to go lose some more weight. I know you lost a good bit of weight, but you got to lose more weight. You got to get in the gym so you have a high motor. I know you're not in shape because you don't have a high motor on both ends all game. It's one or the other. It's never both all game through an entire series. We haven't seen it. You're in year fucking 8, 9. Pushing 30. You'd have been a top 4 or 5 big man in this league for 4 years now. You don't have team after great team after great team after great team, and every year you're out of the second round and there's an excuse on somebody else every year. You need people, your teammates to play better. My nigga, you missed 13 shots and grabbed 8 rebounds and 7-2 as the best player and the MVP averaging 30 and 13 all year. And you gonna blame somebody else? You gonna have the nerve to sit there and blame somebody else for your mishap. The only other person you got to blame is Doc Rivers. And you shouldn't even be blaming Doc Rivers because you scored 15 points in a game 7. Yep. In a game 7. Yeah. You scored 15 points and let Jason Tatum go for 50.
Embarrassing.
Got ran off the floor. The nigga was up there showboating, shooting 30-foot three-pointers, kissing the crowd.
And bringing you up there for him.
Bringing you up there on the switch like, come guard me, nigga. Come get this work. Yeah. And you seemed okay with it. Yeah. It's all a part of the journey to success, and you're going to smile at the podium.
We can't do it alone.
You ain't a killer, bro.
We can't do it alone, he says.
You can't do it alone.
Yeah.
You can't do it alone. So you can't do it, maybe. So maybe you just can't do it.
So do you guys hear that tone in Daniel's voice? That tone is disappointment. Because Daniel's been with Embiid every step. Like, yeah, this is the year he's gonna win the MVP.
Very disappointed.
You know, seeing the improvements in his game, you're gonna hear a different tone from me.
Very disappointed, bro, for real.
Because I knew you had it in you. That's the worst part. And I say this every playoffs about almost every sport. It's what surprises me isn't when people lose. Because only one person can win. What surprises me is when niggas do exactly what everybody think they gonna do. And again, as we breathe, Joel Embiid remains the only MVP to never take a dribble in a conference finals. Not a dribble in a game that matters. And what was so frustrating about Game 7 was it was making me so mad is what Embiid is representing for what is the problem with bigs right now. For you to be listen, this is crazy. Drafted in 2014. So it's been almost a decade for you to be unable to pick apart double teams in year 10, coming off an MVP season. It's just inexcusable. You read out his stat line, 4 threes put up. Why? Al Horford, 6'10". And the problem is, and this is what's so interesting is for the casual fans that's watching Embiid, they're like, man, Al Horford's so much smaller than him. Why can't you just back him down? And the reason is that Embiid is not comfortable doing what you just saw Jokic do last night because he is not comfortable on the post, right shoulder, left shoulder, passing out of the post. Because you know what these niggas is doing? They in the offseason shooting middies, between the leg pull-ups. But that's not what wins championships, bro. That's not, you know, the one, it's been two niggas to get off like that all time. Hakeem and Dirk. And respectfully, you not neither of those niggas, bro. It's so frustrating top to bottom watching how the 76ers collapse. Cause you just saw it coming. It's like the Looney Tunes shit when he draw in the tunnel and walk away and a nigga run by and run right into it. You're like, man, you didn't see that wall there? Like Embiid, you didn't see this wall coming? Where they was just like, you know what? We'll just W. Make you figure it out. And what we're gonna do with Harden is just get out that nigga way. And we're gonna guard you, and this is why it's so ironic. Because the defense that they strolled out versus Embiid is the same defense the Celtics used versus Jokic in that regular season game you put the whole season on. That was the most important game of the season for y'all, right there. You can tell how y'all was prepared because that's the defense niggas are still using on Jokic. They use it on you. They used this shit on Steph, for God's sakes. And you got sent home by it because you have not taking responsibility for your playoff losses in the past. That's why you're comfortable not taking responsibility for them now. Because it was on Ben Simmons when you went 0 for 9 in the second half versus John Collins. It was on Ben Simmons because he didn't shoot that one time. Even though, listen, you didn't make one shot in the second half of game 4 of that Hawks series and then missed a layup with the game on the line that was uncontested. But hey, it was Ben Simmons. And then y'all lost again. Jimmy Butler left. You know, it was locker room turmoil. Jimmy Butler's a bad guy.
What was it last year?
Who did they play last year? Celtics. Was it Celtics? Damn, who did they lose to last year?
The Celtics.
That's so tough. Yeah. And every single year, it's the same song. It's the same dance where you're not ready to take this next step. And you know what? I was thinking of the quote, trying to make sure I got this quote right. Because I want to make sure I got.
They lost to the Heat last year.
Shout out Jimmy Butler, bro. Shout out Bam Adebayo. But what gotta stop is what's going on during the regular season. Niggas gotta stop talking about Embiid like he's in that group. Like when Kevin Durant say that Embiid is Shaq and Kobe combined, somebody need to stop him. Because Shaq not getting 8 boards versus Al Horford, bro. Niggas gotta stop thinking that being big makes you a big, bro. It's a mentality. It is, you gotta have that dog in that motor in you. Because Hakeem was not the only 7-footer in the league. It was a league full of what separated you was how hard you worked on both ends, what skills you had when you needed them. And for the 9th year in a row, when it's time for rubber to meet the road, Embiid don't have the skills you need to win. These shots that you led the league in scoring with, trafficking, they don't let you shoot those in the playoffs. You need to learn to do other things and score when it's important. What changed, like, niggas like, man, he should pattern his game after Olajuwon. Well, he can't because he physically is not agile enough to create the shots Olajuwon was able to create. Embiid is so big, but he's so statuesque that he can't catch, go by, get a quick dunk. He needs to catch, stop, jab, jab.
Some weight.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? We talked about this months ago about what makes great teams or great superstars so good. Embiid doesn't get any easy shots, bro. You're the biggest nigga on the court in a league where there's no centers. It's like 10 centers in the league. You can't get any easy shots in the playoffs. And, you know, it can't all be on Doc. Shout out to Doc for losing another 3-2 lead, being the guy we thought he was. But Embiid, there needs to be possessions where you catch and you go. You catch and you make a read. Because I promise you're not the first big man to get double teamed. And you won't be the last. There are ways to counteract that. But instead of putting in the work to counteract that so that you can be ready in the playoffs, you put in work so that you could succeed in the regular season and win these little awards. And more power to you. You're an MVP now. I'm happy. There's only been like 50 niggas ever to be MVP. You had an amazing regular season average 30. Did all that. But don't let Giannis confuse you. You just failed. And what's getting worse is now you're on a different clock too. Because you was on a superstar clock before, man, when Embiid going to break through. Embiid, you can't retire. You can't, like, you're pushing 30 on a non-healthy body as it is. You're on borrowed time because a lot of people didn't even think you would get to this level, including me, because the first 2-3 years of your career, you couldn't get on the court. Tatum's not getting older, bro. Tatum's always going to be younger than you. Giannis always going to be younger than you. James Harden going out the door. That's another Hall of Fame sidekick that's leaving. You had Jimmy Butler, who's looking like the best player in the playoffs right now. He couldn't work in Philadelphia. So now it's on you again, bro, because it's hard.
Who do you hire?
Man.
We don't have to talk about Doc. Me and Ish feel away about Doc. We don't have to. It's no surprise that 3-2, 3-1, 3-1, 3-2. He lose them all. So I'm not. I don't got nothing to say about.
Shout out Doc Rivers.
No, I'm not going to disrespect that man. I'm just he is what he is. Some up and coming team I hire him, but where do you go for coaching wise?
I don't, man. Could you convince Nick Nurse to do it?
That's my pick. My pick is Nick Nurse or Bud. You've got to have somebody that's going to make him play hard.
But see, what's hard about Nick Nurse is Giannis need a coach too. So if I'm going to get Nick Nurse, I not only do I got to convince him to coach Embiid, I got to convince him not to coach Giannis. Yeah. Because the problems we talking about Embiid have, those are not the problems Giannis have. Whatever Nick Nurse come in there and tell Giannis to do, he will 1,000,000% do and get better every day at it. Embiid, haven't seen that. We have not seen the commitment to that. And what was worse? What was probably the saddest part about this? Was a lot of secrets you've been hiding came to light. Because you are above average rim protector. When you're in position, great protecting the rim. Make some crazy blocks with your wingspan. But you being a cone, been kind of under wraps for a minute. Niggas ain't really know how much of a cone you was. And Jason Tatum put you on Front Street. Jason Tatum showed the world that the Jokic and Embiid argument where it's like, Jokic is amazing offense, bad defense, and Embiid is amazing offense and okay defense. Nah, it's not that same way anymore. Because you have not, like Daniel said, improved your body to where you need to be. Because Jason Tatum, not the only nigga in the league that can create his own shot. And you can bet your bottom I don't care who they hire. You can bet your bottom dollar next time you're in the playoffs, they bringing you up in the pick and roll.
Every time.
Because now it's out. It's a copycat league. And then from the Celtics to go from I can't hit the rim to, all we need is to bring Embiid up and it's over. That is a problem, bro. And it's not like the Warriors lost this year. And there were questions with that roster. That Philadelphia roster was amazing.
Fantastic.
Top to bottom. Yeah. Shout out Tyrese Maxey. I want to shout out Tyrese Maxey on here. Try his best.
No, show up next time, please.
Yo, them niggas is crazy, bro. Them niggas is really crazy. And you know what? Every day it makes sense why Jimmy Butler couldn't have lasted there.
Yeah.
Because you not saying that. 135. All right. Every day it makes sense why Jimmy Butler left. Because you not saying that shit in the press conference. And Jimmy Butler waiting to speak. He might open the door on your ass for real. Like, nigga, what you mean we got to play better? You got outplayed by Al Horford. After last year getting outpaid by Bam Adebayo. And you're supposed to be the MVP. That shit got us. And damn, I hate this for you, Embiid. Because we talked about before the playoffs, who had the most to gain. You think it was hard winning your first MVP? Nigga.
Good luck.
You will need 40 and 10 next year just to get in there, nigga. Like, yeah, you're done.
All right, man. That's enough. That's enough on Embiid. You deserved all of that.
Yeah.
So quick in the music world, Dirk and J. Cole dropped a phenomenal song together last Friday. Really good song. Great rollout for Dirk. Think Dirk is trying to get a little bit more positive because he wants some bigger bags, and you can't get them bags rapping like he rapping. Just
shooting niggas all the time.
Yeah,
right?
You can't do that. Mm-hmm. But very good song, very good rollout, and J. Cole is the perfect person to get on a nice little song. J. Cole's verse on that is crazy. Also, this is in funny news. Wayne had a live stream in Los Angeles for his show
and left
and just left.
Yeah,
and a lot of people was like, "You don't do that as an artist. You don't do that as an artist, and you don't. Yeah. And they was like, "It's because you didn't have control of the crowd." And the funny thing was. It wasn't because of how they were reacting to him. Yeah. It's how they reacted to Lil Twist.
Yeah, his guests. Yeah.
Dude. Bro. And the thing is, if you have been to the tour, I've seen a couple clips from it, and like they only performed one song.
Facts.
It was like, what did y'all do in that 6 minutes, bro? Like
for it to be that bad.
For him to go from I'm the best rapper alive, I love y'all, y'all can't fuck with me, to all right, we'll talk, catch y'all next time.
Yeah, no, facts. What did they do to make that nigga so mad?
They do, but shout out Wayne. Yeah. Shout out Wayne. The tour was amazing. Other than that, everybody that I saw went to the tour. Shit I've seen online said that tour was amazing. Probably his best set list like in a very, very, very long time. So shout out to him. Lastly, Adidas will return back to selling Yeezys. And that just goes to show you that sometimes Kanye do be right. His message may be wrong.
Nah, that nigga
he know what he talking about.
Nah, that nigga was for sure right. And they're gonna start selling Yeezys. And the biggest part about that shit is he's still getting his cut per shoe. Which is crazy. 15% per shoe, my nigga. Yeah. So still getting the royalties. June 1st, I heard, was a restock date. They gonna have the what's it called?
The boots?
No, the OG runners, the first ones, the Pirate Blacks.
Oh yeah.
So
no, they gone. They gone. Everything gone.
Quick. I need that. I need that for sure.
They need it too. So
yeah. Oh, and K Shinada and Amine are dropping.
Yes. I am not excited for that. I was gonna lie to y'all, but I'm not.
I like Amine. He a cool dude.
No, exactly. Like it's no issue, and I'm happy for them. I am 100%. I can say with 100% confidence that that's going to be a good project.
Facts.
And I will probably listen to it. But I said excited. That I'm not. No. But I probably will listen to it.
I'm looking forward to hearing it at some point.
Exactly. I'm not rushing to go see that. In other news, YoungBoy dropped the project. His third one this year.
I'm scared to talk about this.
Yeah, stop. That's it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, there you go.
Edit that laugh out too.
Yeah. YoungBoy dropped.
That's it. Russ dropped the EP. Russ still dropping music every week, doing his thing with his money. I fuck with that. I listen to all Russ's EPs just because I just enjoy rapping, and it's so frustrating how well he can rap. Like, it's funny because nobody likes him, but boy, he
just great rapper.
He can rap. Yeah. So
shout out Russ.
I tapped into his EP. It was definitely good. And then anything else that I missed music wise, we haven't done no big album reviews because the big album hasn't really come out this year. We shout out at Conway last show. Just another shout out to Conway because the album is crazy. And yeah, that's it. So to close out the show, we have been teasing this for 3 weeks.
Shout out to y'all who stayed down for it. Shout out to the twins.
Shout out to the twins, man. 25 minutes. It's 9 o'clock on a Thursday. Like we always tell y'all, we really put in work for real. Let's get into it, man. Snowfall.
Yeah.
If you have not watched the end of Snowfall, if you need to catch up on Snowfall, please turn this show off. This will be the end of the show, so catch us the next episode. Catch us next episode. We'll drop. We're not live, so yeah. Catch us next episode. We appreciate you for listening. All our socials are in the bio.
Yep. Salute. Appreciate it, twins.
For sure. Man,
what a show.
What a finale, what a final season, what a show in its entirety. Definitely in my top 5 favorite shows I've ever watched personally.
Yeah.
Franklin State might be my favorite TV character ever, to be honest. I have a couple, but he might be my favorite one ever. It's going to be real hard to knock Will Smith off that top spot as for the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
But man, what a character.
Yeah.
What a show, what a cast. I don't want to jump straight to the ending because I know you got to get some shit off. I know you've been waiting to get some shit off.
It's really hurting me talking about Franklin right now.
but I want to start off with the evolution of these characters.
Right.
Starting with the one, Franklin, going from the obviously poverty-stricken, hood nigga, if you will.
Right.
That was also a boy genius, and everybody knew he was a genius that was trying to make his way in school, got kicked out due to some racist bullshit.
Facts.
and had to figure out how to get some money and figured out how to get some money. And the progression of these characters from the way they talk to their mentality to their clothes from season to season was such a joy to watch because it's so actors displaying emotion is so, I'll say that differently. Actors displaying emotion without words is so impressive to me. And the way you could literally see Franklin's mentality change in his body language from season 1 to 6 was just a masterclass. And that goes along with Louis and Jerome, Leon, all of them. Their body language, their aura of their character just changes. And I think that is a testament to the writing and the actors being able to pull the writing off a page and bring it to life. But just a fucking amazing show. What do you have to say before we really get into the last season?
Of course, off top, Rip John Singleton, one of the best black directors we've ever had.
R.I.P. John Singleton.
Pioneered this to allow this series to even happen. But series as a whole, so I am more of a TV series nigga than Daniel. I will say, like, I will go back, watch a bunch of OT. Like, I've seen The Wire 3 or 4 times, Sopranos, like, all the old GOAT shows.
You definitely watch, like... You watch like TV over and over. I don't do that. I will go watch a show and that be it.
Yeah. I watch TV series like niggas watch movies. I'll watch a TV season 3 or 4 times in a row. But first of all, to echo everything you said, 1000%, the character progression throughout each season, but the level of excellence from every character we were introduced to. Even the characters that didn't make it to the end. Like, one of my favorite characters was Manboy. Didn't make it to the end, but absolutely cooked his role.
Mine was Avi. I loved Avi.
I
loved Avi.
It was so amazing to watch. Where I kind of watch a little anime, so this is where I was kind of pulled that anime. Where in anime, every new season is the new big bad, so they increase the power scale, and they would do the same in Snowfall, but in different ways. Where you get to season 4 and Avi like a regular dude, like he the homie for real. But in the first season, like you forget how tense and how scary the first season really was. It's a show that'll age beautifully for sure. It'll age like fine wine. It'll be something you can go back and rewatch. But
we'll tell our kids to watch this. Like our parents told us to watch The Wire and shit.
Exactly. And I really think Franklin's my favorite. Franklin is my probably favorite character across TV. Man, the fucking ending hurts. So before we get to the ending, because I do want us to talk about it before we get to the finale. Like, so what were some of your favorite seasons or moments?
Okay, so that's what I was about to ask you the same thing. Yeah. Some of my favorite moments, I don't have one, but some of my favorite moments outside of season 6, I'll stay away from that. One of the first that comes to mind is his very first time going to Avi's house. Yeah. I love that episode, and I love those scenes. The drug raid, Avi and his draws. Yeah. You see how much money they really making. Right, yeah. Like, what the fuck? Where is this money coming from?
They make him put the vest on.
Put the vest on. All of that. So that season, when they killed Teddy's brother off the coke, he overdosed later.
They force-fed that nigga coke.
When they force-fed him coke, it was so ruthless, and he was on the phone. He was like, "He won't fucking overdose because it's too fucking pure." And I was like, "He won't die. It's too clean. This is crazy." That is one of my favorite moments. The first shootout. I don't know if I won't say that. One of these first shootouts. It might be the first shootout when they tried to set Scully up the very first time.
Oh yeah.
And he took the heroin and got crazy. And he was like, "What you doing?" He was like, "I need this shit to get ready, nigga." Yeah. And he came in with that big ass gun, and it was the first time Jerome had caught a body. It was like one of the first real big shootout scenes.
Facts.
That was a crazy scene. Season 6, I stay away from because I got one from season 6. What else happened in that show? Because there was so many good ones. The season, I think it was season 3. The season Franklin was in a cane the whole season.
Oh yeah,
and he put it down the ladder.
Oh yeah, after talking to Shorty,
let you know how they was gonna treat him with the cane. Like he was trying to. That episode was crazy. Yeah. The Shrooms episode where
the wedding, I loved it.
Franklin put on a masterclass that episode, and I feel like I have more moments. Oh, the first scene you get with Louie when she beat that bitch up. Yo!
Was she watching the show? Yeah, like, Louie, go beat this bitch ass. She watching the show, and they cut the commercial. She take her ears off. Yeah, nah, I love that.
Excellent TV.
I love that, bro.
The ice cream truck man don't come through here and not give them food. If gave them the money.
Yeah,
that episode.
So my favorite moments. First, just to hit a couple. So the Scully beef was one of my favorites too.
I love that
where he survived the shooting. He pouring alcohol on it. He's like, "Where the fuck Franklin stay?" He said, "I'm gonna stone this nigga." I was like, damn. And then the next season start. You see them set bro up, and he hung that nigga in the base. He really hung that nigga up like Jesus. Man, I really enjoyed Scully character. A lot of my favorite moments were like little character moments that just showed you how locked in they were to the characters. Like the little CIA shit Teddy would do, like when they were at the standoff with Franklin dad and shit. And instead of having the gun like in a regular place, he had like a custom holster built into the door handle, like the little CIA shit there. But and of course the Franklin rants. Almost every single Franklin rant where they gave him anything they gave Damson to cook on, he absolutely fried. Whether it was after bro dad went talking and he was talking to them after the club about, we got it, and like Peaches, let's roll, that was crazy. The one where he pulled the car over on Leon, that was crazy. Even the last season, but I think one of my favorite things that you saw throughout the series was not only how the characters changed, but how the world and the background characters changed around them too. Where in the early seasons you see kids running around, ice cream trucks, people, just regular people walking around. Later in the episodes, the streets become emptier and emptier to the point where season 4, 5, and 6, damn near the only people you see outside is them. Mm-hmm. Because that is how the community is, where people can't be outside anymore. Things like that. So those are some of my favorite things to try to show people.
Another thing I like was in this, you saw more in season 5 and 6, was you saw the money started to spread through everybody. Yeah. Like everybody you pulled up on that had some part of something to do with the game. Yeah. Them and they niggas was dressed like they were supposed to. Yeah. It was in unison. I fuck with that. I love the progression of the guns, because it was just pistols, and then the Uzi, Avi brought the Uzis, and then the progressions of the guns was crazy. Yep. Also the progression of the fashion. I love that, how they started to, it went from regular t-shirts, broke nigga shit,
right, white beaters and
Lacoste
shit.
Polos, all of that shit. That was cold. Julius with the chains, he started wearing jewelry and shit. Yeah. The fur coats.
Yeah, Louis too. They looked like they had bread fur.
Yeah, and I love the way they wrote Joseph, who is Jerome's, the way they wrote his character felt like every black uncle ever. Yeah. And that was the beauty in him. Like you'll have shows where I hate Louis, or I hate Franklin, I hate Cece, I hate this, but I don't think you're running anybody that hated Jerome.
You can't. It's hard, bro.
Because he was such a he was one of those people that nothing ever really changed him. Like he was always like, I'm gonna just do what my family doing, and as long as me and my family good, I gotta do it.
So all right, let's talk.
What I gotta do.
We gotta get. We tried to put off season 6. But
one more question before season 6. Your favorite character your favorite main character that's not Franklin, and your favorite side character. You said Man Boy for that. So who is your favorite main character that's not Franklin?
I don't want to say Teddy, because I feel like that's real on the surface, but it would be Jerome, 1000%, because Jerome, like you said, nothing really changed him, and I really felt, especially throughout the show, especially the later. That's why how he went out it was written so perfectly, because he from the start was really just trying to do right by his family for real. Yes. He wasn't. The money didn't motivate him. The respect didn't try to change him. Like he didn't care about. He really just wanted to do right by his lady and do right by this kid that he raised, and now has turned into this multi-millionaire. And I definitely think that Jerome probably
Yeah, mine would be so if I didn't already say Avi, it would be Avi,
right,
and then it would be Scully. Would be
Scully
my second. Both of them were my two favorites.
Scully's progression was great.
Was amazing, and the big dude I started to like towards the end. I was like I fuck with that character.
Big Black?
Not Big Black. I don't know why I can't remember bro name. The muscular nigga, the one that Leon beat his ass.
Oh, Dion.
Dion, that's his name. Yeah, I fucked with Dion towards the last 2 seasons. But my favorite main character outside of him it's like the whole show. It was between Leon and Joseph. Like I would just go back and forth every 3-4 episodes. It was Leon and Jerome. I mean, So yeah, I fuck with both of them. I fuck with Leon's progression as like the nigga that was like, because Leon started off as a shooter.
Yeah, as a crazy nigga, crash out nigga.
Yeah, like do you remember that? Oh, another one of my favorite moments was when Franklin was first starting to get the shit together, and he made Leon kill bro in front of all of them, and he was like, "This is how we running shit now." Blah blah blah. You don't fuck. Blah blah blah. So he was a killer.
Okay, my fault. Cold moment. When Franklin made bro slit his homie throat.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was when the progression really started. Like, oh yeah, this crazy. He said, "We need to make sure you're not gonna snitch. Come do it." What? The nigga on the ground, like, please, bro, don't do this, bro. Like, he said, I'm gonna haunt you.
Yes, like, what? That was super early. Yeah. And then, okay, season 6. Yeah. We're here. What a fucking season of TV, bro.
Yo,
like,
I ain't hurt like that in a minute.
I'll start season 1. I mean, my bad. I started episode 1 because I was trying to wait to episode 8, watch everything, and then watch the last 2 episodes.
Right.
But I think Tyrone texted me and was like, "Yo, have you watched Snowfall?" And I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Watch Snowfall, bro."
Yeah.
And this was on episode, I think, 3. So I was like, all right. And I don't want to get spoiled. And I know people, I got to tell you they watch TV every time they show. So I was like, let me go watch this. And I watched them first 2-3 episodes, and I said, "Oh, we in for a treat."
Yeah.
And it's got to be nerve-wracking to be a TV writer, producer, director, actor, all of that, because it's like, damn, like, what happens if we go perfect 6 episodes and then miss the last 2, like, and ruin the whole season?
Yeah.
So I was nervous for that, but the every season had been so good that I was like, there's no way they mess this up. But the whole question I was asking was, what do they do with Franklin?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's no way they kill him.
Nope.
I was like, it's no way they kill him. But I do think he's either going to get away with the money and lose everything or get away with nothing and gain himself back.
Yeah, keep his family.
And yes. And wait on that. But the introduction of the KGB, because he came in last season, and how he was just working, trying to get away into anybody. He didn't have no loyalty towards anybody.
Right.
What's his name? My boy. Because he was one of my favorite characters. Oh my God. Oso. I love Oso. Yeah. So
Oso getting caught. Yeah.
Oso getting caught working with the CIA and then realizing he can't trust the CIA or Teddy, so he got to go to get Franklin to get him out of this was like, that's excellent. That's excellent writing. Yeah. Because he knew whoever he went with was either going to have him running for the rest of his life, kill him, or he wasn't going to feel safe, or he was going to be in jail. Yep. So he had to go with Franklin. Also, one of my favorite moments now that we're in season 6, the last moment of Oso and Franklin when he dropped him off, he took him on the plane and dropped him off, or if he dropped him off, was so like heartwarming to me because remember like,
how they met.
That was his hero.
He was a fan of that nigga.
He was a fan of that nigga.
He got an autograph for that nigga.
Yes, that was how you introduced him. You got an autograph for bro, and you saw like every time they had an interaction, you saw they had a little bit of soft spot. Like the money changed them and everything, they stressed, but they had a soft spot for each other. And the little before he got back on the plane was like, he let that nigga.
Yeah, he let that nigga, man.
And he real happy he got him to get away. But the progression of each character's storyline felt so final. It was perfect because a lot of shows, some shows you'll end and you'll be like, I don't feel like they did that right. They could have done this with this character, did this with this character. But they closed every character so perfectly. And that is what I appreciated the most about the season.
Right.
Everywhere they took everybody made sense.
Right, yeah. I loved it. So sadness is a very great emotion to feel watching something, because that means the writing is great. You care about the characters. They're evoking the emotions you want. So the sadness throughout this season was a testament to how locked in we were with these characters.
For sure.
Where some of the saddest moments, well, it's weird to say, were my favorite because of how real they were and how well the writing was. Like Wanda coming back and no one wanting anything to do with her was it's so sad. Like it hurt. Like she went back, was it her grandma crib or something like that, and she wanted to give her something, and they literally wanted nothing to do with her. And it was so sad seeing her realities change, because that's really how it is for people, where you went on this amazing journey, you got yourself right, you went to Africa, you were a new person, but the people you left behind still remember the person you were when you left. Seeing, I said it earlier, but seeing the rest of the world react to them was so good. But the ending brought, like, yo, it's so sad for Franklin, bro, because that nigga really tried, bro. The whole series, he really tried, bro. And it's so sad, and I keep saying sad, but it's so sad because and a lot of philosophers or psycho people, they say this all the time, like, no matter how far you run from it, you become your parents. And that's where he is now. He is literally where his dad was, where we were introduced to him, where he has a son he knows nothing about, being raised by a woman he's not with. He don't have any money. He was a big shot back in the day, and he's lost. And I 1,000,000%, I understand. 1,000% I completely understand cracking after some shit like that, bro. Cause I really might have lost my mind, bro. Like, so now that we're here, we can talk about it, fam. Her shooting that nigga, that would have broke me right there.
No. So before we get there, the build up of him losing the money, because he lost the money at the end of season 5.
Right.
The whole season was dedicated to him getting his money back.
And doing extreme shit, bro.
Extreme shit that's out of his character.
Yep.
And mind you, bro is still up.
Yep.
Like, it's not like Franklin, that $73 million was all he had. He could have sold all his assets, been a millionaire, been good.
Right.
But it was the principle of, my nigga, I did all this shit, damn near risk my life, my family did, everybody hate me. I
didn't want to start over.
And you gonna take everything I got. He said it when he was talking to him. He was like, you couldn't let me $5 million?
Nothing,
you couldn't
bro.
let me 10?
Right.
You couldn't let me nothing? The Pentagon print out billions and billions every year, and you gonna tell me my little $73 million?
Right.
I'm like, you get the fuck out of here. So,
and that whole shit with him and Teddy,
Emmy-worthy performance,
bro. Beautiful.
That execution was, oh my god.
Okay. So let's back up to there when they were talking about that scene. I'm glad you brought it there. So first, I was not of the belief that Teddy was tricking him. I really feel like what happened, like he said, was emotional, and that's what was fucking with Franklin too, because it don't make sense to do that. That was an emotional decision on a connection that they thought they had together, and they really fell out. So I think when they came together and was like, bro, let's just split this shit, I really think they believed in that solution. But I do just want to throw this out there just for the jokes. But when the nigga came in there with like the pot, I thought he was gonna cook some crack and make that nigga smoke it. 1,000%.
I did too.
I for sure thought he was gonna make that nigga hit
bro.
some crack and just leave for a couple days.
Yes.
And I'm gonna come back 2 days later when that shit really hits you to see if you got the same answers. But man, those final moments from both of them, you really got to see, like, the same way you talked about how him and Oso had those moments. Him and Teddy had those moments too.
For sure.
Like at the end of, was it season 3 or 4? We was talking about how the LA River was built and stuff. You could really feel the connection between them. And they even had the episode Different Lives where, Teddy recruited bro for the CIA, like out of college.
Yeah.
To show how kindred spirits they were. And for it to pivot so quickly. Like, we spent 6 seasons trying to get to this, not 6, 7 episodes to get to this moment. He literally tied himself up and gave him to the nigga who was finna kill him. It's like, yo, Teddy looking for me. I'm a hog tie myself to set this nigga up. Risk my entire life. You get all the way here. It work out the way it should. We on the way to get this bread. And she shoot this nigga. I paused the episode. And
I stood up. I jumped out of my chair, literally, leaped and
screamed. I paused the episode and it was like that Homelander meme where it's just that in the background. I'm just looking like there's no fucking way. There's no way she just fucked the money up like this, bro. Yo. And listen, all-time last words, by the way. All-time last words. She was like, where is he? I shot him. Dumped that nigga body. What you mean? He looked at him. He's like, are you serious? I put 2 in that nigga. Are you crazy?
Put 2 in the mirror greater than buried.
You think I flew to Cuba not to kill that nigga? Be for real. That's really what his face is. Be for real, bitch. And for that to be the catalyst that leads to all of it ending, it was so. I felt so bad for Franklin, bruh.
It literally hurt my stomach for 2 days. Every time I thought of it, I felt it in my soul.
I literally could not believe that shit, bro. You really did that to me. And what was making me mad, this was, okay, post Snowfall. What's been making me mad is what she was saying and what Leon was saying, we trying to help you. I'm broke, my nigga. Help later, bruh. Y'all can't help me after the fact, fam. And who is sissy to say what money I should? We was broke before I was doing this shit. You was evicting black people out their homes before I started doing this. We have no other way. It's not like Franklin had other, he really tried. Nigga went to school, nigga did all that, and it didn't work out. Fam, you didn't make this money. You should not, I know that's his mom, she want the best for him. And I do think money was fucking a lot of his life up. But fam, on the flip side, that nigga got a child on the way. He done put his whole life to get to this moment. That shit really broke something inside of him where I understand now why the last episode went the way it went. Cause bruh, I think after going through what they had went through in the first 5 seasons, the shit Franklin saw, he just gave up.
It didn't matter. It just didn't matter.
He just gave up.
I felt like he felt defeated.
Yeah.
And not I lost this one. I'll get him next
one. Over, bro.
It's over. All right, none of this shit matters.
That money's gone.
If I did all of this and I got nothing left to show, nothing matters anymore. And so I want to start same place. So the conversation they had where he was that I was kind of talking about, where he was like, it's not your money. That conversation, I think that was episode 8. It's not your money. And that was the Pentagon. He was talking about the Pentagon. Yeah. That scene, that what we were just talking about. Right. That acting for that 20-minute conversation was, oh my God.
Was it grease on that nigga?
Yes, he was pouring the hot oil.
Hot oil, yeah.
Yeah, so from that moment, when they were splitting it, I agree with you, bro. First up, no, that's the first thing I want to say. Your soft spot for Teddy, he told you he had a soft spot. He really thought him and Teddy was going to be cool.
Facts.
He thought Teddy was going to be his dog.
Forever.
And he was going to be cool.
Yeah.
And now they was going to have a relationship for the rest of his life, and he was going to be good with that. And you could tell, the stealing of him, that shit hurt him. That shit really hurt me. Why would you do that to me, bro? And I agree with you. I don't think he was going to trick Franklin. I think he was going to give Franklin that money, and they was going to get away, and everybody was going to go on about their business, and Franklin was going to go leave. Sissy Saint. I saw a lot of different opinions, which is when you know a show was ended correctly.
Guys.
Bunch of different opinions. Yep. Bunch of different people feel strongly about your opinion. You have felt that. Your name on Twitter right now is a Sissy Saint hate account.
Yep.
I think what she did was so selfish.
Bro, that is the most selfish fucking shit, bro.
I think...
Oh, my God.
It is so easy, and that's the beauty of it. Yeah. It's because the mothers watching, and not even just mothers, the parents watching understand why she did that. The 14, 15-year-olds watching fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
We understand, but it's still
Fam.
yo.
There was a time and place.
You're evicting black people out of their homes.
Bro, like you had no other answers.
And then I changed your life. I changed your life to where you don't have to want for nothing anymore. Bro. You didn't have no problem with my money when we was building businesses and we was owning property.
When I let you live your dream, you was playing Monopoly when I met you.
We was playing motherfucking Monopoly, dog. Bro. We was building towers, selling properties, flipping properties, and on top of that, we was helping the people we was hurting. Right. Like we was fixing the community at the same time, trying to make people get better. And even like everybody that came through that shelter wasn't on crack. Sometimes it was just they was homeless. So I was still doing my due diligence and helping the people that needed their help if they wanted it. Right. We were doing all of this for 7 years. Well, at that point it was 5 years because they jumped 2 years in the future. So for 5 years, we were doing this system and we worked it fine. And even at the beginning of the season, the end of season 5, it was, we got to kill all these motherfuckers, ma. And you was with them.
Yo.
You was with them.
That's my thing. When did it not become okay?
It became not okay when y'all was in the dungeon and you saw what he was doing to Teddy. Yeah. But you mad at Teddy for killing your husband and putting crack in this neighborhood, and you mad your son tortured him to get his 73 M's back? Right. 73 M's back. You mad about him?
Adjust for inflation. That's 150 million.
That's 150, 200 million we talking about now in today's time. Easily too. That's what I'm saying. $73 million was like 100 million, bro. Like
they was making $12,000 a year,
bro.
They was making 12 racks a year.
He had 73 M's stolen from him, and you was mad. He was doing everything he can. And the last thing is like, it's so frustrating because you talking about the monster that Franklin built. You let him become that, for one. And I understand she said that was my fault. I understand I take responsibility for that. I shouldn't have done that. But two, he was done.
Yeah.
He was done. He just wanted his money. He was going to get out of there with V. All the niggas was going to be straight. The crack was going to be left behind. He was out the game. He was going to take his money. He was getting out of LA.
Literally.
Why take that from him? Like you said, when he has a baby on the way, he got a girl he loves. Like, why take that away from him?
Yeah, so this
that is so crazy.
So
but
go ahead.
Real last thing, excellent TV.
Crazy TV.
Excellent.
Great TV.
Excellent TV.
I will say
oh my God.
I am a nigga who see a lot of shit coming. I did not see that shit coming.
No, bro.
I had no
Not in a million years.
But to piggyback off your point, because I hate Sissy Saint with all my heart, is at what point do you stop causing problems? Because first, you brought this bum-ass snitch nigga into the crib in the middle of the work. None of this would be a problem if you just would leave that nigga alone, bruh. You brought him back into the house when I told you not to. I'm your son, cool. But they're best friends. As your best friend, I told you not to. And then as the nigga paying all your bills, I told you not to again. And then you did it anyway. And because of that, you put these problems in motion where you can't be trusted as a reliable source anymore. Because to keep it a rack, you could have been touched too. Easy. If Teddy felt like it had to happen, you might have been gone too. If you would have went, he pulled up to Cuba, you were spared. It could have been just that easy. But Teddy was magnanimous about it, handled his business because you wasn't a threat. You were only a threat the entire series to your son. How many times did things go? And this is why I said I understand why he gave up, bruh. Because the entire series was him telling you, stop doing this, bruh. If you do this, this is what's going to happen. Let us do it. Let us handle it together. We'll figure it out. But no, Sissy saying you smarter than everybody, so you gonna bring this drunk bum into your house.
This drunk ex-black parent while I'm selling crack into the black community. You gonna bring him in this house to watch all this happen.
And then you know what? It's not like he came in there pulling his weight. He work at the place I own. He ain't even come in here doing nothing. Franklin do everything. He run the shelter that this nigga work. His claim to fame is, oh yeah, he run the shelter. Nigga, that's my shelter. What you mean? That's what he told them niggas. Y'all know who paid for any of this shit? Everybody get out. What the fuck are y'all talking about, bro? There's not no charity, bro. This shit come out of pocket for real. And every step of the way, she was just so selfish. Like, even in the first couple seasons, where were these complaints then? Where were these complaints when you was sending 100K checks to churches to get your name up in the community so you can bid for shit? That's money out of my pocket. Are you kidding me? Bro, and then, like you said, it's over. My thing is, you wanted to shoot that nigga. We had him tied up in a basement. You could have smoked him when you could have told me up front before we leave. I want to kill Teddy. Well, okay, I have the codes right here. You can kill him now. We can go get the money. But no, you were being selfish. You had a plan. You say, you know what my plan is? I'm going to shoot this nigga in broad daylight in front of another CIA officer and go to jail for the rest of my life. So you won, right? You won, sissy. Everyone's like, man, I wonder who's going to jail. You went to jail for no reason. I just spent 2 weeks trying to figure out how to kidnap this nigga for you to shoot him in broad daylight anyway. We could have smoked him and the KGB agent and got the money without leaving the crib. But no, because you had a plan. You were so selfish. You didn't want to tell nobody the plan because you know why? Because I was going to tell you that's stupid, sissy. I was going to tell you to your face that's dumb because the nigga's dead already. You spent 20 years without him when I was getting raised. The next 20 years, you'll be fine. I promise. You was with him for 5 years.
Yeah, $15 million, dog.
Bro, you can go get another husband, bro. You can go get another husband, dog.
I
got grandkids to think about.
Bro, like, you have grandkids.
You got grandkids to think about, bro.
I don't get it. And then on top of that, the last thing, because it's damn near 10 o'clock, but the last thing I will say is, Franklin got done so bad by everybody.
It be your own niggas, bro.
He tried to take care of everybody. He told Louis, don't go behind my back for Teddy. It's going to turn out bad. It ruined their whole relationship. Ruined the business. All of that started because Louis went behind his back. Literally. Louis couldn't deal with being just an average millionaire. She had to go get the power and feel the power and get her respect. She couldn't just deal with that.
Sissy made it through
and
that.
Jerome told her not to. Jerome told him.
Literally.
Jerome said, don't do this shit. And you did it anyway. Franklin told you not to do it. You did it anyway. Yep. And it ruined everything. Mm-hmm. And then Leon was an excellent friend from Franklin to start to finish. I say the only thing left for him to do was either give him some money at the end of that or take him to Africa with him.
That's what I was going to say. But so to piggyback on what you just said, first, Jerome had been talking that shit for 3 or 4 seasons. He said, stop bringing shit to my door. He talked about that before Louis even got shot. She was like, you out here provoking people? So I'm like, you bringing this shit to the front door for what? You are causing these issues. Why? And the way she explained it, listen, Sissy Saint made it the whole segment. We ain't say no misogynistic shit, so I'm not going to say nothing about Louis. But God, I really wish somebody would told her, shut the fuck. What do you mean nobody respects you? You're selling drugs. Why do you want people to know you're selling drugs? What drug dealer wants other people to be like, oh yeah, biggest drug dealer in the city right there. Look, just walked in.
Yeah. Respect, queen.
Yo, what's good, OG? Like, when the last time you put in some work?
You're a multimillionaire off crack.
Yo.
Why do you want to be known?
Bruh, you know what? Even if you do want to be known, when the last time you put in some work? When the last time you got your hands dirty with any work? Jerome got bodies niggas have seen. There's a reason niggas respect Jerome outside of him looking like Ray Lewis. He got bodies. He got work, nigga. Like, Jerome been around for a minute. What have you done to earn any of this respect?
And Jerome was known in the hood. Like, Jerome was Uncle Jerome at the start of season 1. Niggas who knew Jerome was.
And Sissy, bro, and Leon, man, it was just, that's why I titled this on episode, it be your own niggas for real, because I really felt the hurt in his voice when Leon told him no. Because Franklin, right, bro, like, you're eating because of me. All this shit is us, my nigga. Like, this is what we did. I put you on. You running a project that I ran. I gave you that assignment, nigga. Like, this is everything. You would have nothing because of me. Your wife, you wouldn't know her. She would be a completely different person. All this, bro. And that's just, you just gonna dip?
Because my mama didn't want me to have this money?
My mom, who just had a mental breakdown and shot a nigga in broad daylight, going to jail for the rest of her life. You on her side? What you mean? It's so sad, bro. It's so sad.
Like it hurts, bro. It truly hurts me.
And it written.
Because it everything makes so much sense. Like we're like, why this? Why this? But like you look at Louis and it's like, okay, why do you want so much power?
Yeah.
It's because you a black woman in 1980 and nobody fucking respects you.
And you were a stripper first.
You can't get nobody respect you and see you nothing other than this stripper bitch who Jerome bitch. You can't get nobody to see that. So that shit is driving her insane to where she's doing stupid shit to try to prove her point. Leon only did that because for 2-3 seasons, Leon's just been trying to do what's right, and in his heart of heart, he thought doing what Franklin's mom did was right.
Yeah.
At Franklin's mom, he killed my husband.
Right.
My son. I just watched my son torture this man for 3 days. My son ain't been the same person in 3 years now.
Right.
Everything don't change about the dynamic. Everybody I love, my brother's dead because of him. Like we looking at it as all of this money is because of you, and she looking at it as all these people dead, and all my family broken because of this. So fuck this money.
Right.
And then who's the last person? And Veronica, the beautiful thing, Veronique, my bad.
Yeah.
The thing about her was she told her mama, Franklin has been good to me and he loves me. He has not put his hands on me. And the moment he puts his hands on me, I leave. She choked that bitch and she was gone. Took everything out of that bitch. Yeah. And it was like everything like we're saying makes sense from a fan point of view. But like if you really get inside these characters, it's like damn, like I can kind of see why you would make that decision in that situation. And that's it's amazing, right? Yeah. A couple moments from season 6 though. The last episode when he had to break down in the jail and was like, fuck you, bitch. Like that break. Yeah. That shit was amazing. And him killing Teddy's dad on the phone. Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought it was it. He killed that nigga dad on the phone. I said, yeah, put some heat on that nigga. Put some pressure on that nigga. But
excellent TV, man.
So we can close it with this. Another little moment I literally just remembered I wanted to bring up. Maybe season 2? He's talking to the cop. What was bro name? The black guy he ended up killing. The cop. Old girl dad.
I literally could not tell you, bro. I know exactly. You're talking about Shawty old dad.
Yeah, Shawty dad. He said, how you sleeping at night, Franklin? Like a
baby. Like a baby.
Season 5 and 6. Didn't sleep a wink. And that's the little things in the show they really don't. So they show you him not sleeping for real, but you don't know why you don't know why that shit ringing off in your head. Yeah. Because up until that point, there was no problems for real.
It was just regular street nigga shit.
Yeah, now
it's like he really stressing, man. That's perfect TV. If you did watch that and you've never watched SNOWFALL before, I hope we did a good enough job explaining that to where you go watch that entire show. I'm going to rewatch it again later this year.
I have it just on my TV sometimes, depending on what's going on.
Yeah, I'm a definitely. I think I'm gonna get Taylor to watch it because she didn't watch any of it. So I think she didn't watch any of it. So I think I'm gonna get her to watch it. She don't like
violence?
Like, nah, not even violence. She don't like TV that's too much. Like, she watch sitcoms and shit.
Okay.
Like she like dramas, but like nothing with a bunch of killing and all of that. Like, she don't do all that.
All right. Before we get out of here, I want to see your live reaction to this. Rui got 17 at the half. The Lakers at 5. How do you feel?
Lakers at 5. Rui got 17. How much AD got?
They didn't even show that nigga name. I don't even know if this nigga playing. They didn't show none of this nigga's stats. What the hell? Hold on, I'll find it though. But so Jokic has, I'll pause on 80. Braun got 10, 5, and 6. Jokic got 16, 8, and 5.
Jesus Christ. At half?
At half, yeah.
Man, that's crazy. He's a special guy. 16, 8, and 5.
I'm trying to get to the box
stats.
score. Okay, AD.
We was right.
That nigga 1 for 6. He 1 for 6 with 7 points. Oh, hey, man. No.
Hey, man, you said Lakers at 5. Braun got 10. How many shots is Braun taking?
9.
Nuggets winning this game. I'm calling it now. Let's see if I'm right. Nuggets winning this game by 7.
Austin Reeves 3 for 10.
Nuggets winning this game by 7.
But Jamal Murray 3 for 13.
Oh, that's one person we didn't talk about. I'll talk about Sunday. Very inconsistent.
Yeah.
That 3 for 13 does not surprise me, but I still have the Nuggets winning this game. I'm going to go Nuggets 5-6 tonight.
Yeah. But great show.
Great show. Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for listening. As I said earlier, All our links are in the bio in anything you're watching, Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, especially little video clips here and there. Share, please, to all your friends. And again, thank you, and we will see you when we motherfucking see you, baby.
See you next week, Twitch.